need music.
Well, it is streaming, so that's good.
Oh, that might be a bit loud.
It's a little loud,
Okay,
but you got it.
there we go. I think this is about right, maybe?
It's reasonable.
Let me send you some bullshit really quick.
That's what I've always wanted.
Oh, they're not labeled at all. Oh, well. I sent you the drafts for the games. We're doing
Holy shit.
We're doing ROTM versus RTR first, and they're in order. So game 1 is the third link that I sent you, inconveniently.
I see.
But then, yeah.
Wow.
So we'll see how that goes. But yeah. Let me announce some places. Oh, he changed the tag? Why? Alright.
What's wrong?
It's not... They're not... They're, like... They're not Platinum anymore. They're LRS in the server for some reason.
Oh, okay.
I don't like that. I guess that's what Lane was talking about. Okay, well, Weeb, you need to fix that. I'm sure you're here. So, unint your team.
Wait, so who has the platinum role then?
No one. No one has the platinum role.
Linked has platinum.
Oh, well, he might be the only one.
So they're actually all double tagged except for Lexus. Lexus has LRS.
But not platinum.
Everyone else on the team has LRS and platinum, it looks like.
That's pretty troll. There's only one chat, so...
I mean, maybe there's a secret chat that they're keeping from Lexus.
Oh, true.
The platinum chat.
And then I want to post on Twitter, and then I'll be good. Sorry.
No worries. Gives me a little time to...
The first game will be game 1 from the email I sent you. Is where we're starting.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure we were clear.
RTR versus RotM gold.
Remember the part where we were... Yeah, we were going to, but we don't now. So just kill it. Kill LRS. I don't like it. Just make them all plat. We can unfix it later if we need to.
Sorry, Hyder, no skipping of game 1. That is in fact where we are starting. With game 1.
Yes. We'll get it out of the way first.
See, and that's all just uphill from there, right? Wow, I didn't even realize that this was still a team.
Who is it?
Yeah. On the front page of the Riot client, it's advertising Kaboom versus Red Canids.
Yeah,
I've had the Red Canids icon forever. I didn't realize they were still a team.
Yeah, they haven't been good, but they're a team. They haven't been demoted, so like,
that is an accomplishment in and of itself.
Also, this affects literally nobody but me, probably, but when you're trying to type in Twitch URLs on your phone, so like, there's no copy paste, so I have to http:// which I spelled wrong, twitch.tv, and then when you try to do the first slash, it just decides that it doesn't want to let you do it every single time on my phone, and instead it autocorrects it to an L, and then you have to go back and do it a second time. Ah, it's the worst. Okay. I think I've now announced this everywhere that I need to. I think I even have the game up. I just need to fix the scoreboard. In here. Oh, that's pretty troll. Okay, I need to change this. Oh, I see. Okay. That is not what I want. Borderless, maybe? Ah, that looks good. Okay. Ah, yeah. I had it on full screen, so like if I alt-tabbed, it would just die. And that's, less than ideal. Okay, this is RTR 0. They're going to be blue.
Oh, you mean the replay?
Yep.
Yeah, mine also, for some reason, went to full screen instead of borderless, which is just awful.
I'm assuming it all just reset last patch again, because it did that once. Anyway, are you ready to, kind of start?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the RotM review for week number 1. My name is Marismatic, and my special guest caster today, the FPL jungler extraordinaire, Aikato.
That's me.
The Grandmaster Smurf himself. I shouldn't say that, because I don't think the LPL, or if anybody from FPL is here, I don't know that they would understand the meme.
If they don't have the context for the meme, then, it might seem sincere.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if they just watch my gameplay, they would see that Tendies is the GM Smurf, not me.
True. Anyway, today we're rocking the FlyQuest jersey. I finally was able to get my new Middlesticks jersey. Oh, I'll show it on stream here. I got my new Middlesticks jersey from Winged, but it smells really funny, so I want to wash it first before I wear it. But this is what it looks like. You can order these, by the way. We don't get any profit share from it, so you don't have to. I'm not going to push it. Got my name on the back. Pretty cool. Yeah.
That does look pretty sick, actually.
But yeah, they're really cool. I've been wearing the old Middlesticks jersey the last couple of times. Thought I'd change it up. We went for the FlyQuest jersey with the jellyfish on it. It's a solid jersey. Anyway. Yeah, so. Makes it sound like you did weird shit. No, the only weird shit he did was he kept it in the package for 8 months, 9 months. And it just smells weird because it came from whatever factory it's from. He didn't do any weird shit to it, don't worry.
Well, that's just on you for not going and picking it up, 9 months earlier.
Yeah, there was only COVID, and then there still is COVID, but I decided that whatever. Also, I had free time, finally. Yeah. Alright, so, week 1, Legends Esports, a brand new league, a new challenge for our organization. We've got 2 teams competing in it. The first one that we're going to feature is our LAS team, which is Legends Amateur Series, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me, I think that's right. Basically the gold team, if we're going old everything. So yeah, let's take a look at our Game 1 draft then, before we get into it. RotM going to take on the Rising Tide Reapers, and chose red side for game number 1. Just to take a quick look around the draft, not going to spend too much time going over it, because I know that you'll probably talk about it a little bit more with them during your VOD review. But anything that really stands out is really good or really bad from this draft for either side for you?
I think it's really interesting, just early blinding Malphite like that. It feels like the type of champion that you probably shouldn't be able to, but depending on the enemy top laner's champion pool, maybe it's not that big of a deal. Usually blinding Malphite means you're going to get, an instant lock Silas, who's just going to rock your world. But otherwise, Caitlyn, not the highest priority AD carry, but you know, by the time they picked in the draft, and especially with B-Pots, you know, it being something he's very comfortable on, you know, it seems pretty reasonable. You know, nothing too crazy here.
Yeah, I think the one thing I wanted to look at, it goes along with that Malphite, but you know, the Vladimir left open for Piclay feels like it should be just kind of a natural, like almost forced lock in at that point, for somebody who's so comfortable on that pick. I know he's probably been playing a lot of the Malphite and Ornn and you know, a couple of other top lane champions, but I think if you're given the Vladimir in a game, you probably just take it and make them ban it afterwards.
But especially, you know, within a team environment, this is the first like group series that they've had, you know, as this team. You know, a lot of times people default more towards like the tank style, you know, playing for the team.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's too crazy for them to go for that on their first game.
Yeah, I do worry a little bit about their damage profile. For RTR, I actually really like their composition. Set feels like a really good pickup there for Blue 4. You have 3 tanks basically that you can throw back into the Caitlyn or Lux, and I think that pick in particular really shines in this composition. And then Cho'Gath's also really good at dealing with tanks just because of the true damage nom.
For
so
sure.
I think Rising Tide Reaper's got a really good draft for game 1.
Well, especially looking at RotM, you know, they don't exactly have any tank busters on their team, right? Like, Lux is a lot of burst, but can't really deal with tanks, and Caitlyn isn't really renowned for her tank killing abilities, so the triple tank composition definitely could be difficult to punch through.
I have one last thing I need to change on the slide, and then... Okay, that didn't take very long. Boom. Alright, I'm going to flip it to in-game. I need to grab water. I realized I have no water on my desk, and I'm going to be casting 5 games. So let me grab that really quick, and then we'll go ahead and start.
Alright. Yeah, imagine banning Thresh. God. Who on earth would ban Thresh away from Hyder? The man barely even plays the champ.
Alright, sorry about that. But yeah, are you ready to begin?
Always.
Alright. Well, in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, on the blue side of the rift, wearing the blue health bars for game number 1, will be the Rising Tide Reapers. Neptune rises in the top lane. Lord Arcane? Arcane. Lord Arcane is what I'm going to go with in the jungle playing Vi. The Mr. Gerb in the mid lane playing Victor. And a typical name in Bigsby in the bottom lane playing Kaisa and Set.
On the red side, we have RotM for the first time with this roster coming out. Top lane, we have Piclay, Gid Shadeslayer in the jungle, Oath in the mid lane, and then B-Pots and Metsuro 5 rounding out the comp on the bottom side of the map. Already just a little, it's not your standard spread, right? You know, they're walking in, getting a little bit of extra room. Didn't place down a word yet, but, you know, they've already staked out that territory as theirs.
Yeah, and kind of weirdly Set just still in base. You have pause available, but I guess just wanted to wait a little bit in the base for something. Oh no, he actually walked out, put a ward down, and then went back. Never mind, I'm inting. My
You're fine.
view
He did
here.
the jungle strap.
Yeah. He went Omni Stone, by the way. That's an interesting pick. Oh no, does Metsuro? That's Doran's shield, isn't it? Or is that Relic's shield?
What are we looking at?
No, it's Relic's
That
shield.
is
Okay.
Relic Shield, yeah.
It looks like Doran's. God, those look so similar. Look, so Cho'Gath has a Doran shield, and Metsuro has Relic shield. Those are the same. Those are pretty much the same.
They're very similar in terms of their colors and, you know, the general shape. I'm gonna be honest, I don't look at support itemization enough to have to even recognize the new icons.
Yeah. Well, now
So-
that we're done freaking out about that, what do you want to talk about?
Interestingly enough, I'm pretty sure that Gid on the Nunu ended up going leashless. So, hiding a little bit where the Nunu has started, might be able to see some cheeky pathing there. Um, Otherwise, yeah. Bot lane having prio, as they probably should. Um,
Yeah.
what do you want to talk about?
I mean, so you got the shoving lane bottom with
Uh-huh.
the Caitlyn and Nautilus. I think that the other two lanes are going to be pretty difficult to play around. Like, Malphite just straight loses to Cho'Gath, which is unfortunate early on, and even throughout most of the game. Like, as a 1v1 matchup, it's just not great for Malphite. Big top lane tank knowledge coming through. And then Lux can't really contest Victor on the shove either. So I think it's going to be harder for Gid to find a big opening. And Beepots and Metsuro have to be careful not to over push and expose themselves to a Vi gank in the bottom lane.
Definitely. Vi did start bottom side, and based on the leash information, they should be able to tell that,
Oh, he
but
goes in Beepot's low. The Ignite going to take him. That extra damage from a typical name just came through right at the end. Gid going to roll on into bottom lane just to scare off Bigsby in a typical name from continuing on to Matsuro. But the level 2 hit for Bigsby in a typical name, he goes for the flash and pull, and they're able to find the kill on Beepots.
yeah, and that's the power of the set support. Classically does quite a bit of damage, has quite a bit of CC. This time around, just hit the level 2 and flashed in. It's able to catch B-pots and just so much damage coming out. Honestly surprised that they were able to just instantly 100 to 0 like that.
Yeah, and this is actually kind of demonstrating the issue with this. Malphite really needs to expend mana in order to farm and poke, and he's done nothing to Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath is still sitting there on full mana, full health, and can just absorb this wave under turret, and is going to have a pretty big CS advantage. So,
Yeah, Shogath, notorious for having the passive that on every single creep kill returns mana and HP, but also the E does percent max HP damage, so definitely a favorable matchup into the Malphite. Is feeling pretty good about himself. Should be able to scale for free and apply quite a bit of pressure. Already a significant CS lead there in the top lane, actually.
yeah, and Piglay's going to hold his teleport as he walks back to top lane. So Neptune Rises has the opportunity. He could either take a back if he's feeling comfortable, feels like he has a break point, um, or he can actually just sustain through this, because Malphite's not going to get any damage, and unless he gets some help up there, Neptune Rises could just get a cheeky, like, 2-3 level advantage out of this if he plays his cards right.
He does have the stacked wave pushing in, so yeah, he definitely doesn't have to recall. Stick around up here, making sure that this wave, um, does end up crashing eventually. In fact, like this sort of a stacked wave is the sort of thing that you look for as a jungler. Is like, okay, so this is a wave that I can dive the Malphite on, because if you can dive it and deny the Malphite, Malphite's going to be behind levels forever. Unfortunately, Lord Arcane on the other side of the map wasn't quite looking for it, so they're not going to be able to take advantage of it. But either way, Neptune up quite a bit and is going to be able to get the reset here and spend quite a bit more money than Malphite had when Malphite recalled.
Yeah, and then the bottom lane also, not going super great for RotM so far with the one kill, the Kaisa with the longsword dagger compared to the longsword. And now, Lord Arcane looking for the gank. They're going to find Matsuro, trying to get the slow. The pull-in from Bigsby finds Beepots again, uses the 90 caliber net to try to get away, but Gid looking for the counter gank. They knock up a typical name, now trying to turn and zone. Gid gets a snare onto Lord Arcane, but he's got the Vault Breaker available, and everybody should be able to retreat now for Rising Tide Reapers.
Yeah, imagine that everyone's just going to sort of walk away from this one, lick their wounds, but really well played on the side of RotM, actually. Matsuro on the Nautilus was able to prevent Set from getting onto B-Pots, and then even after B-Pots ended up getting pulled in anyway, Gid was in the right area at the right time to counter gank it and sort of stop the proactive play from RTR. Pretty good from RotM.
Yeah, now Gid looking for the experience again. The Hex Flash
Oh.
forward might just be the wrong time for Bigsby. Atypical name gets knocked up and taken down. Beepots with the kill. And now Bigsby uses the Haymaker trying to do some damage, but he's not going to be able to find it as Beepots takes the headshot double kill.
That's actually so tragic for Bigsby. Was charging up the Hex Flash as soon as he goes in, finds the engage onto Matsuro. But unfortunately, the Nunu was right there the whole time waiting for it. So just the absolute worst timing possible. And RTM picks up a couple kills. They should even out that bottom lane for them. They didn't quite crash that wave, but they're still going to be able to get the dragon. So overall, definitely in their favor.
Yeah, Oath finding a good trade, but needs to be
Ooh,
careful.
no.
Stuck in the gravity well. The Chaos Storm coming down. Uses his flash and barriers. The little shield going to be enough to flash forward for the
Oh,
Q, and Mr. Gerb finds the solo kill in the mid lane.
it was a really good W there. Gravity field? Gravity well?
Yeah, something like that.
Gravity something or other. From Mr. Gerb there was able to catch Oath as he was comboing and able to pick up the solo kill is pretty massive. You know, especially since they did take the teleport instead of an extra combat summoner. So anytime that you're able to take advantage of that and still get a lead on your own, definitely pretty big. Oh my god, Cho'Gath is just so OP.
Yeah, Cho'Gath into
What is that?
Cho'Gath into tanks is pretty good. Like, Ornn is the only one he has any like significant amount of issue with, and even then, it's still a pretty favorable Cho'Gath matchup. He's just got like dashes and stuff that you have to watch out for. But like every other tank, they have to stand still to do something, and you can land like Rupture, Vorpal, or Rupture, and then the Yell, the shout,
Something Scream.
Feral
Uh,
Scream, yeah.
yeah, and then E is Vorpal Spikes.
But yeah,
Which
you
you
can
max
get the
out
knock up
against
into
tanks,
a
right?
couple of E's, yeah, and just I don't know. I played it into Scion when Scion was like the meta pick. It's really good into
Mhm.
Malphite. It's fine into Ornn, but yeah, just a good champion to win a 1v1 against a tank while still being like relatively tanky yourself.
That was pretty good by RotM there. Giligsby was walking up using the movement speed from his Q to try to get into range, but um, playing the range pretty well there from RotM. They're able to walk away from it. And, you know, Oath is coming down, just saying hi. Seeing how they're going down there.
Yeah, I like the idea behind the roam. Execution not quite there, unfortunately, as he walked through the ward in the tri bush, but
Oh
you
no,
know, I
he's
like.
actually going to find Victor. It's kind of scary. The big thing here for Victor, he doesn't have to get a kill or even any damage down. He's denying Lux from being able to pick up any of that XP under turret. Um, so there is actually a pretty significant XP lead there in the mid lane already, with Victor having hit level 8. Oath just barely hit it now. So uh, definitely going in favor of RTR there so far.
Yeah, it feels like even though it's the even kill count, that RTR's just been a little bit more comfortable so far in the game. Um, and they have, you know, little advantages pretty much across every lane right now. Nothing
Definitely.
completely damaging, though. I do really want to see Lord Arcane get involved. Oh, the flash into the pull again, and Matsuro going to be taken on a journey. Bigsby is pretty low, but taken down by a typical name. B-Pots, couple of low health bars looking for Bigsby. Flashes forward. The heal's still there from a typical name. He uses the Void Rush, and you'll find the double kill, a typical name with a big outplay on the Kaisa.
Yeah, holding the heal until B-Pots had entirely committed there. He saw the low health bars. He wanted to be able to get the return kill for his support, but unfortunately goes a little bit too far forward, gets baited by the heal, and ends up dropping. And now the lane that was evened out is definitely in favor of RTR, which doesn't bode well for ROTM. You know, the Caitlyn is going to be, oh
Oh,
no.
and Lord Arcane here in the mid lane still has his ult available, and will use it to chase the Chaos Storm plus a couple of autos, and Lord Arcane finds the kill onto Oath. Just a little overextended there in the mid lane.
Yep, just a tiny bit. Didn't have vision over that wall, so Vi played the vision game pretty well, was able to get the fully charged Q, and just does so much damage on the squishy. And now this is both of the carries, you know, we highlighted the damage profile earlier for ROTM, and they're definitely requiring Caitlyn and Lux to be pretty strong to be able to deal the damage to kill any of these tanky champions on the side of RTR. Unfortunately, both of them have fallen behind now.
Yeah, Snowball rolling in from Gid, looking for a typical name. Gonna find. Oh, the flash on the hook. Wait, Gid, why is he diving? Oh no. Okay, he's out.
Oh!
Uh, all right. They didn't
So I
die.
think I think he thought that he was gonna get another turret shot thrown at him. So he used the Nunu R to get the shield so he could survive one more turret shot. For some reason, the turret didn't shoot one final one. Either way, they got the flash up from the Kaisa, pressured her off. She's gonna miss a couple waves here, so it's not all for naught. But perhaps not quite what they were hoping
Yeah,
for.
I mean, all things considered, it's not like a terrible trade. It was your support flash for ADC flash, and then you just kind of have the Nunu ult thrown in as the extra cost, which isn't, you know, outlandish by any means. But now Lord Arcane looking for Matsuro, gets the double knock up, the Lux ult coming across, and the Vi's so low, he's ignited under turret. The smite from Gid is going to find the kill. But here comes Victor and Cho'Gath walking through the tri-bush. The Death Ray already from Mr. Gerb taking down Matsuro. Big double rupture. The gravity well not quite in the right spot. Bigsby with a big pull back, but B-Pots takes him down. This fight is a mess as the typical name. Flies into the backline, finds a kill already, but now stuck trying to fight Peakley. Gets the shutdown for the Malphite. Neptune Rises and Mr. Gerb trying to fight their way out of this 2v3. Mr. Gerb kiting back. Oath and B-Pot still looking for this. Edging around the gravity wall. Oh, he flashed into the Death Ray. Auto attacks traded. This shield doesn't quite come back, but the light binding does. A trade kill there. B-Pots and Neptune Rises still continuing to scrap, but now he's in melee range of that Cho'Gath. He's still got Feast up. He just noms down on B-Pots, and Lord Arcane able to rejoin the fight. The 6th man in the 5v5, and he'll find the E kill onto Peakley.
And what a fight! The big thing there for RTR was that they already had Cho'Gath down there. He had walked down on his own, so they had more people there at the beginning of the fight. Peakley ended up teleporting in, was able to get a good ult off onto a typical name, and it looked like it was going in the favor of ROTM. But unfortunately, just a little bit of an overstay, and Neptune Rises on the Cho'Gath is able to pick up the kill onto B-Pots and set up the last kill as well. And now we're looking at a gold lead in favor of RTR. They did end up picking up the second dragon, so even, the one dragon that RTM had doesn't matter as much now.
Gid might be looking for this. B-Pots is still a little bit away, not able to join immediately. Oh, that hook, the minion just like teleported in front of the hook. I feel that one from Matsuro, but nothing, not going to find anything at the end here in the bottom lane.
And going in just a little bit too early. The Caitlyn wasn't quite there, and not a whole lot of damage coming out from the Nautilus Nunu duo.
Hey, it's a trio. It's Nautilus, Nunu, and Willem. Excuse me.
Oh, true. In that case, with the three of them, they should have been able to get a kill, but unfortunately not.
Vi hanging around in the tri-bush, looking for something, not going to find the opening. Oh, Oath picks up the blue buff and then walks a little bit, just a little risky path, gets chunked through with the Death Ray and the Chaos Storm.
Yeah, how dare Oath think they can walk back into lane. Victor there is just a little bit too strong. Has the finished Ludens already. Is also stacking the tier for that Ludens Archangel's power spike that we've been seeing. A lot of the pro play in LPL and LCK have been favoring towards that build for most mid laners of the Ludens into the Seraph. So Victor is well on the way, and
he thought he had typical name, but he pulls in Bigsby. He's still going to just take what he gets, and B-Pots finds the kill at the end of that one. 4 kills now on the Caitlyn feels pretty good, but now Rift Herald being summoned in mid lane, and there's no one available to help Oath currently. The turret in mid should fall. Oh, Light Binding lands on Vi, maybe just trying to slow her up. Has the E-slow as well. They're looking for Lord Arcane. In comes the snowball from Nunu. They'll find the knock-up Peakley around the corner as well. Has the ult available, but going to hold on to it for the time being as Gid chomps down for the kill.
Yeah, unfortunately losing out on the first turret, but able to pick up the return kill. The worry, though, is that they'd rotate everybody up to get that pick, and unfortunately that means that a typical name is getting solo time on this bot turret, and it's actually almost going to get that taken down.
Yeah, B-Pots here trying to defend. Just going to layer in the autos. The big 80 carry 1v1. Autos being traded again. B-Pots is low. He's walking into the minion wave. Pops the ult, but a typical name flies in with the ultimate. And the Void Missiles are enough to take down B-Pots. A solo kill for a typical name.
Just a little bit of over-aggression there from B-Pots. Unfortunately, a typical name with the new Kaisa build already had the serrated Dirk, so that Q really hurts. And good awareness from a typical name to be able to ult back in as soon as Caitlyn started channeling, so they were able to pick up that kill. And Well played RTR. This Kaisa is kind of massive now. Has the Kraken Slayer. Is going towards the tax collector, assumedly. It is going to be very scary this game. Lots of damage coming out from that champion.
Yeah, get able to at least grab his red buff out of the jungle, but you can see the wards already coming in from Bigsby in toward this red side jungle. It's going to be very difficult for ROTM to hold on to their own camps now, at least on that one side if they choose to put pressure toward there.
But that definitely is sort of the side effect of losing out on your mid turret this early. Is just your jungler usually pays for it.
See, I love that you say this early, but we're 17.5 minutes in, and we are still kind of in laning phase, which...
True, when you put it like that.
Oh, the flash! Oh! Again, Matsuro and a typical name just trade flashes on cooldown, but they're not quite able to find the damage that they need. They saw Bigsby up on the top side, so thought they could go for the play, but now they have to be careful with Lord Arcane. The flash Q over. He steps in front of the hook. That was actually a really nice little play by Lord Arcane, as a typical name benefits from that, finds one kill. Beepots trades it back, gets the heal from Triumph. Typical name, Void Missile.
Oh, apparently it didn't hit because the camera turned away.
Oath and Mr. Gerb gonna go ahead and scrap again in the mid lane, but get here looking for it. That's a nice flash from Mr. Gerb. He's got such a level advantage in here, but Bigsby flies in from the side. He'll grab Oath, gets the ignite, has the ult flash over the wall from Oath, but he's burning to the ignite. He'll manage to live, and so does Gid. The teleport forced out of Neptune Rises is not insignificant as a result of this. Oh, but the Void Seeker finds Oath.
Oh no. A typical name wasn't quite able to find the Void Seeker to pick off the Caitlyn, but instead just walks mid and is able to pick it up on the Lux instead. And now 7 and 2 doesn't have flash, so it's a little bit scary. But
yeah, typical name popped the ult. Nunu doing a decent job of zoning. Malphite walking in really late to the fight over here on the side. They just haven't been grouped up, and now Peakley gets chunked through by the Victor E. They're trying to retreat back over, but it's a double kill for Neptune Rises, and everything falls apart for ROTM. Beepot's trying to 1v5, but he just can't find the amount of damage there as a typical name dashes in and picks it up. And that'll be the second dragon going over to RTR.
And that was so close for Beepot. So many low health bars that he's trying to just pick up a couple of the kills there on the back end. You know, a little bit of an overcommit from ROTM. They thought that they had caught the Kaisa out, but unfortunately Kaisa's entire team was there, and you know, Beepots wasn't quite in a position to be able to deal damage the entire time, so it just means that no one ends up dropping for RTR. And they end up picking up that second dragon, picking up another turret on the other side of the map, and this is very firmly in favor of RTR right now.
Yeah, Mr. Gerb grabbing that top tower, their third of the game, all the outer towers down. A 7-kill lead, about a 5,500 gold lead as well. It's a rough start for RTM. But looking at some of the positives, like Beepots has some kills. He's got his Kraken Slayer finished, headed for an item.
I'd assume that's either a Rapid Fire or a Storm Razor. Storm Razor, probably. I think that's the more common second item. I think that nowadays people usually build Zeal items as their third item. But we'll have to see what he ends up finishing there. Unfortunately, because of the champions that we've selected here for ROTM, there's just a lack of damage. In order for Caitlyn to be able to kill Cho'Gath and Vi, and even the set.
Over the wall, a typical name, the auto from Oath. That's a huge pick from Oath.
Such a huge pick. That should slow down the game, as RTR was sort of setting up for the Baron. They had the vision control, and they were just walking back mid to get Prio again, and really a heads-up play from Oath to be there and catch him in rotation. But more on the Caitlyn itemization. Fortunately, to ever kill any of this front line, Caitlyn has to have so many items. Has to have the Kraken Slayer, plus a Mortal Reminder, plus an Infinity Edge. Ooh.
Oh. Nunu still looking for the drift. They're trying to find Lord Arcane. Hook gonna pull in Matsuro into the knockup, and they'll find the pick on Vi. Oath again being the benefactor. 3 and 4 on the Lux, starting to scale his way into the game.
Yeah, and if there is a way for our team to get back into it, getting picks like this to stall out the game and pick up a little bit of money for their pockets is definitely the way to do it. This is their best shot for getting back into it. So well done to them.
Oh, Gib might get picked the
Oh,
opposite
no.
way. A typical name has so much damage. That crit was pretty thick at the end, though.
I think it was probably a collector proc, but
Oh, maybe.
yeah,
That
no,
item
the
exists
Kai'Sa
for
is
some
just
reason, yeah.
yeah. Oh no, peak lay.
I don't think anything happens. Yeah, he just gets his move speed. Oh, get
Oh
hit by another rupture. Oh, he used his ult. Alright, well, now
yeah,
he's really out of there.
probably necessary. Honestly, that Cho'Gath was gonna chase him forever. Has the force of nature. Doesn't have boots.
That makes it harder to chase him forever, you know?
That said, he was keeping up with them, and that force of nature does give movement speed. So, and the Frostfire Gauntlet is like Iceborne, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't it have the slow field?
Yep.
So if there were a pair of items to pick up, without boots, that might be it. But
I did want to just very quickly on the Kraken Slayer point. It really is unfortunate because I think like easily the best mythic on Caitlyn right now will be the Gale Force. That item is just nuts, but you really can't look at itemizing that even though you kind of want it against Vi and Kai'Sa. Yeah, just kind of an unlucky situation for B pots. I think the Kraken Slayer's right for the game, but I don't think it's right for the champion, if that makes sense.
yeah, it just comes down to, who's going to be killing the Cho'Gath and set, and unfortunately for Caitlyn, it has to be the Caitlyn. Um, Lux can't build a Leandries, can't really go any sort of a tank busting build, so the onus falls on B pots to be the big damage dealer against these champions, and that means the Kraken Slayer, which is sort of the idea behind the mythic item rework, right? That you can select your items based on the game state rather than just on what your champion has to build.
Bixby accidentally popping the chem tank, trying to look for anything that he can there. Not able to find anybody, but that is chem tank, right? Oh god.
I think so,
Oh,
unless
it's
he has a
Shrelia's.
Shrelia's.
It's Shrelia's. That's an interesting choice.
Um, that's certainly a decision.
Yeah.
Does he have any AP scaling?
I don't think
doesn't,
Set
does
has
he?
AP. No, there's no. Maybe his E, but that would be really weird. Oh, it's looking for the pick, just chunks through Lord Arcane, but now gonna find more than he bargained for with that Chaos Storm. Kai'Sa gonna fly into the backline and find that Gid, zoning off everybody, but RTM kind of late to collect back through this little choke point. Bigsby able to chunk through B-Pots, but
no,
Caitlyn, not untouched!
Oh
the Kai'Sa into the backline, finds it, Peakley gets a big ult, but there's no one to follow up, and it's the Bud Light ace for Rising Tide Reapers.
And wow, Kai'Sa played that fight so well, was able to get in on this from the side and pick up a couple kills on the back line. Just really well played, staying out of vision there, didn't get zoned off by any of the tanky champions on RTM, and that's a full ace for nothing on the side of RTR. They got the Dragon, and it looks like they might be looking for Baron as well. We'll see if Gid's able to get there in time. They do have the Kraken Slayer and a Kai'Sa, so it seems unlikely.
Maybe more likely if everybody gets distracted by wards along the way, but oh, never mind. That thing just... Yeah, you only need Kai'Sa.
A lot of damage coming through.
You need Kai'Sa and somebody to tank it, and there it is, yeah. Baron picked up by Mr. Gerb, the good smite from the Death Ray. But now Baron, you have 3 dragons as well, 4 minutes until that Infernal Soul possibility for Rising Tide Reapers, and they're reaping. They're not sowing right now.
Everything is going in their favor. Hitting these power spikes. We see Victor with that Loon Seraphs. We see Kai'Sa, 3 completed items, already has the Hurricane, has a stopwatch as well. This is absolutely massive on this champion. Even the Cho'Gath, 3 completed items, still no boots. I don't know if that's a thing. To just never go boots.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's not a thing on any champion other than like Yuumi.
Sona, I think, used to not go
Cassiopeia.
boots. Yeah. But Cassio as well. I mean, what is Cho'Gath but a big Cassiopeia?
Oh, true. He is rather snake-like. Bixby finds Matsuro in the jungle. just gonna go ahead and invest the ult, but he's got the backup available, and Mr. Gerb finds another kill. Gid trying to do anything that he can, and it's just not there. The double kill for Victor as RTR just kind of walks into the blue side jungle and muscles ROTM out of it.
Yeah, they were trying to contest their bot side camps, trying to get just a little bit, maybe that blue buff, maybe a camp here, but unfortunately, RTR was there and said,
Oh no,
no, this is our
B-Pots,
jungle
a
now.
typical name. Oh, the Zanyas! That was so good from typical name. They'll just fight their way through. Double kill for the Kaisa. They fall to the turret as Peaklight gets the big shutdown, trying to run away from Bigsby. He'll get the
Ooh.
trade back. But what a play by typical name. The Zanya's Hourglass on the Malphite ult.
Yeah, being able to Zanya's that was just massive. Went in, did so much damage. It was actually, ooh, Nunu Nautilus, the trio.
The
as we,
trio looking for it. Yeah, I don't
identified earlier. Unfortunately, not any damage coming out. RTR should be able to pick up this inhibitor, but a typical name dove so far in and was almost one-shotting the Caitlyn there. Honestly surprised that the tax collector didn't pop off and one-shot her, but yeah, what a great use of the stopwatch there. He now has the completed GA for the next time they walk into this team fight. As RTR doesn't really need her right now. It's just going to pick up everything that they could want.
Oh, they might have caught Neptune Rises. This is, quite a bit of health to chunk through. Oh, the 123 on the crit from the Caitlyn. Yeah, this is...
Oh, 235 there.
235, yeah. That's respectable.
Popping off.
That's actually his first death, though. That's a pretty big shutdown for B-Pots.
Yeah, maybe can go towards, Lord Dominic's. He's still not buying boots. What the fuck? He bought a health crystal instead of boots.
He's just flexing. I don't need the move speed. I was chuckling earlier.
Challenge.
Lexus in the chat. They don't sell boots big enough for Cho'Gath. That's true.
True, that is a good point. I had not considered the
Yeah. Does he even wear
cost of
shoes?
boots.
Yeah.
Gentleman Cho'Gath doesn't. I don't think even he wears shoes.
That doesn't feel very gentlemanly not to wear shoes.
It's very inconsiderate, frankly.
You'd think he'd have some nice, maybe some work shoes, maybe some nice loafers.
Yeah, I think that would be... Should let Riot know that he's just not being very gentlemanlike at all. Dragon spawning here shortly. It is going to be the soul for RTR, so I think RTM kind of has to consider contesting it. Unfortunately, Caitlyn has the finished third item, the rapid fire cannon, but still needs, a Lord Dominic's before she's going to be able to deal any damage. And Metsuro 5 has to burn the flash.
Oh no, Lord Arcane got caught over the wall. The pull, unfortunately, just out of the range of the Lux ult, but Caitlyn finds the kill. A typical name flies into the back lane. Can they actually kill the Kaisa? They get her into the GA, the trap underneath her. That should spell the end of a typical name. Shutdown for B-Pots, and a potential to stall out the game even more by picking up this dragon, but they have to be careful. Neptune Rises. He doesn't have Feast, actually. Bigsby looking for the big ult. Not able to really find the damage, but Oath in trouble. Gets hit by the Haymaker, the shield, keeping him alive. Peakley on the other side, trying to find it as Bigsby falls. The ace in the hole doesn't finish off Mr. Gerb, and Neptune Rises should be able just to walk out of the fight at whatever movement speed he chooses to have.
Yeah, this should be Dragon in favor of ROTM, stalling out that soul even longer.
Neptune Rises is still looking for it. Oh.
I don't think they can kill him.
This is the gameplay right here. This is what you imagine when you pick it.
Yeah.
They're just going to let him go. I don't blame him.
Can you imagine if he had Tab Eye? Just how pitiful the auto attacks from Caitlyn would be. But either way, again, ROTM doing a good job of getting these picks, especially on the back of Oath. A lot of these light bindings have been absolutely instrumental in stalling this game out. And ROTM is surviving, even though they're pretty far behind. Yeah, well, good job to them on that front.
Oh, I didn't put a prediction up for this game. That would have been nice. All right, I'm saying this mostly so I remember to do it for next game.
Prediction up right now. Will Cho'Gath have boots by the end of the game?
Yeah, sure. Oh, you cast this fight then.
I mean, it's just Cho'Gath getting hit a little bit, but unfortunately they do no damage to him. As far as champions to catch out with a light binding, he is the one that does not worry about it too much. As they're just sort of hanging out here by the Baron. The Baron has spawned, so they can start that at any point. Peakley,
All right,
maybe a bit too
predictions
far
up.
out.
Will Cho'Gath have boots by the end of the game? Get your predictions in very quickly, hopefully. Hopefully the game doesn't end. That would be unfortunate. Anyway, 32:20 on the clock. Baron number 2 up and available for contesting. And RTR going to start it up. Matsuro, Oath, Peakley around the side of the pit looking for it. Luxie into it, gets it low. 3,000, 2,000 health. Lux ult doesn't quite steal. A good smite by Lord Arcane as Gid wanders his way into the pit. He'll be taken down in the process. On the front side of the fight, Bigsby creates a lot of space. I like the placement on that gravity well.
Oh no,
Oath
on the side.
has the Zanya's. The Malphite ult just doesn't connect. It was flashed away from by typical name. Matsuro falls to the Cho'Gath, who still doesn't have boots for the record.
We'll see on this recall. Will he pick it up? Come on, Cho'Gath. Health crystal double pink word greater than brown boots.
Oh man.
We'll see if RTM is able to stall out on this push. Baron taken by RTR, so they do have the power to push in. We'll see if they look for an end, try to pick up a couple of those naked inhibs maybe, or they could stall out for the Dragon Soul again, as long as no one gets caught right before it this time around. As a typical name is just sort of farming everything, taking the entire jungle, maybe trying to get that finished 6th item to BF Sword. Do you think that's Infinity Edge, Bloodthirster? What do you think it is?
Probably Bloodthirster. Although as a last item, Infinity Edge kind of makes sense, but I don't know. I guess no one voted yes. No one has any faith in Neptune Rises to pick up the boots in this game.
Oh
well,
no.
That means your points could just go into the void if he goes back and buys some brown bag boots.
Is that how that works?
I mean, I can predict it. I can change the outcome to it. Like, I'm assuming that's how it works. Neptune Rises. Just gonna scrap a little bit here on the bottom side of the map. Beepot's coming in. Here's the damage. Actually, that was a pretty thick crit. 440 isn't terrible, but you know he's got like 9,000 health. He's just fighting him. Can he find the kill? He eats Peakley. He'll take the kill. The Triumph proc from Neptune Rises. The Cho'Gath damage. Oh, he almost takes Beepots down. If the minions had been on him, I think that he actually dies. Oh, hook from Matsuro, just not able to connect. I don't know that he wanted it anyway. They pull Oath in. He's forced to Zanya's. Where's the help coming from? Beepots and Gid don't have any health. Why are they coming back into it? Beepots has like 200 health. Yeah, Vi realized it. Hits the ultimate. The Sultan Battery takes him down. Lord Arcane flies in again. Bigsby showing off with the ultimate, but that should be it for game number 1. Cho'Gath back to base on his last try. Doesn't sell anything for boots.
Yeah, there's still a little bit of time before they end the game here. Will Cho'Gath realize, will he sell the pink words? As RTR just sort of finishes off taking down the base here. Cho'Gath completed the entire game with no boots. Completed the no boot challenge.
What a whale of a game from a typical name in a more normal sense, right? Just a lot of really good plays from the Kai'Sa. Zanya using the Malphite ult, the flash of the Malphite ult during that Baron fight. I feel like you can't give him Kai'Sa, right?
Kai'Sa is a very strong champion right now, and with the typical name showing just the power that he was able to have on that, it definitely is the champion that you'd maybe consider keeping away from him. Um, but interesting, it's just so much of the early game was decided by both teams playing entirely around their bottom lane. Um, I don't think that there was any plays made other than the solo kill mid anywhere on the map in the first 15 minutes, other than just people throwing as many people as they can down bottom lane. And It seems like both teams just sort of identified where they want to play, or where they felt like that game they wanted to get ahead.
Yeah, so we'll take a short break and we'll be back with game number 2. Rising Tide Reapers can close out this series, or will ROTM fight their way back into it? Let's find out in a minute. Not right now. We have things to load. Uh, so I know we chatted a little bit about doing that LCS podcast. Maybe we'll just rope it in here. Do you want to talk about LCS for a little bit while we load some games up? Oh,
Sure. First day was yesterday, right?
yeah, first day was yesterday.
Parks kind of ran it. Was that the? I feel like that would be the headline. Perks
Yeah.
died multiple times, in fact.
That and TSM lost.
TSM did lose. That is,
and he played. Allegedly.
Yeah, no, TSM. That game was honestly just depressing to watch. TSM 100 Thieves. It was just slow, and I don't know. They just fell so far behind from like nothing happening.
I just still really like, they had almost finalized their roster. They have Sword Art. They have Huni. They really need just that 80 carry to help summarize their off season for them, and they pick up TSM lost. So they just lost the off season. I don't.
Yeah.
It's just very much. Yeah, it's a funny joke.
It is.
Other people have made it, but like.
It's a very meme-worthy name. God.
But yeah, that didn't feel good. FlyQuest having to play with NXI didn't feel very. Basically, every team that didn't have their starting lineup kind of looked like trash. Which
who's Fly's starting jungler?
Jose Diodo.
Oh, true. And as far as like secondary junglers go, like NXI is supposed to be pretty good. He's been showing up in a lot of the in-houses that they were doing. He was doing pretty well in them, so not the worst in the world. If you are looking for a backup jungler.
Yeah,
which
I
it
think
seems like most teams are, right?
Yeah, I think he just
TLG,
really struggled in academy though. I don't know. I hope he does well, but it just feels like maybe not the best time to make the debut.
No, definitely. I mean, under these circumstances, it's hard for anyone.
Yeah. What else was good? Oh, EG was really good. I think that EG's kind of my dark horse team for the year, honestly, with what they put together. Like, my personal opinion, Impact just straight upgrade over Huni, right? And then they brought in Peter Dunn as their head coach, who basically just doesn't miss Worlds, even with rosters that shouldn't make Worlds. And I think that they could maybe do something really special this year. Like, I don't know that they can compete with the money that TL and C9 are throwing, but I think they might be my odds on, like, my pick for the third world spot.
Yeah, and it's definitely a possibility, and having a statement win against C9 already is definitely good for that direction. We'll see. The game wasn't super clean. It went a long time. They had a lot of trouble sort of actually closing it out, even though they were ahead quite a bit. But overall, a really good start to their season. Definitely a roster to follow. I mean, Svenskeren is always someone that I want to follow. So.
All right. Well, I've got game 2 loaded up. We'll continue the LCS chat during our breaks, I guess. That sounds all right. Mm-hmm. Oh, I need to finish off the prediction here. Did you happen to see
out.
The end kill count was like 30 to 20-ish, right?
That's probably about right.
Okay.
Kaista had like 15, right? Yeah, so probably like 30-ish to 20-ish.
Okay. We're doing over under I want to give them not very much time because I know the gold players are lurking, but
Well, yeah, don't let them cheat.
over under 50 kills in the game. We're gonna do 2 minutes so that hopefully people have some time. But I've got the draft up if you're ready to chat about it.
Sure, I also have the draft up.
Okay, so draft for game number 2 between Rising Tide Reapers and Return of the Middle Sticks. I like a lot of these adaptations. In particular, I love seeing that Vladimir comes to the table for RTM. Um, what what sticks out to you though?
So the adaptation of the Kaisa ban, I think, makes a lot of sense. Definitely a champion that was very powerful in the last game. Just getting a typical name off of that, I think, makes a lot of sense. Also, opting for the Vi side of the matchup this time around, RTM decided to first pick it. So RTR responding with the Nunu. We'll see if it goes similarly. It seemed like Get on the Nunu had a lot of pressure in the bottom lane, but wasn't able to really do a whole lot after that. Um, we'll see if we're able to have a bit more success on the Vi side of the matchup. But otherwise, damage profile I think makes a lot more sense this time around. With the Vladimir, with the Caitlyn, even with Galio, who does quite a bit of damage um, to squishies. And then Vi does a surprising amount of damage to tanks. I think it makes a lot of sense. Plus, a lot of point and click lockdown. I actually really like this comp from RTM.
Yeah, I think in particular, um, RTR's draft feels kind of almost milk toast to me. Like there's nothing super exciting about it. Like Volibear's fine. I think the Rise is just not a very good champion, but um, for RTM, feels like they got 3 good lane matchups basically. You'll have the shove early with the Caitlyn and Leona, just because nothing really contests Caitlyn early, and then Vladimir into Volibear should be good. Galio into Rise, you just have more wave clear than Rise does early on. Like he kind of stacks it up once he hits level 6, but um, it should open up a lot of options for Gid to play aggressively around either scuttles or look for ganks, basically however he wants to play the Vi out this game.
I think it's really interesting. Just looking at when each of these champs were selected. The Rise was the last pick, so they got to see the entire composition before they selected Rise. It just seems kind of weird that that was the direction that they decided to go with. Rise doesn't really pressure Galio out much early, doesn't have a ton of wave clear or lane pressure in general. And I think it's going to have a lot of trouble against champions like Vi, like Leona, just existing in team fights. It feels like if you wanted a more damage focus, you could go with like Cassio. If you want something more lane focused, I think Lucian would have made a lot of sense. It seems kind of just like a weird pick, especially since I don't think Rise is in a particularly good spot right now.
Well, let's see how that draft plays out then. If you're ready, we'll go ahead and start it up.
I am.
All right, in 3, 2, 1, go. I think I might have started a second early. I trolled, but anyway, on the blue side of the rift, wearing the blue health bars for game number 2, fighting to stay alive in their first series of the season is Return of the Middle Sticks. Peaklay in the top lane on his Vladimir, Gid Shadeslayer taking the Vi away in the jungle, Oath in mid on Galio, and Beepots returning on the Caitlyn with Matsuro, 5 on the Leona.
Yep, and on the red side, RTR looking to just shut this one out quick 2-0. Neptune Rises going for the Volibear this time around. Lord Arcane on the Nunu, Mr. Gerb on the Rise, and then typical name and Bigsby on the Jhin Nautilus bot lane. I think interestingly enough, RTM continuing to put the priority on Caitlyn on the comfort pick, obviously for Beepots. Whereas a typical name very much going towards the tier list of 80 carries. With Kaisa at the top, Kaisa not around, then usually you want to look at like Jhin, MF, or Samira. So seeing the gym, not surprising at all. Really going for the tried and true strong champions of the patch.
Yeah, this still just feels like a little bit more. Didn't really burn anything, just the hook. And Nautilus hook doesn't cost nearly as much as Blitzcrank's does, so whatever.
True. Yeah, and it was a little ballsy from B-Pots to even be up that far to tempt the hook. And RTM looks like they were faking leash there, and even with that ward that Nautilus has, they might not actually know where Gid ended up starting. So pretty clever look there from ROTM as they walk back into lane here.
Yeah, again, Gid is really low, actually, up on that blue buff,
Actually
though.
took him forever to kill that. What did he start?
I think he started E, we saw.
It's definitely an option. It definitely took him quite a while. Vladimir, not known for the strongest leashes in the world. Looks like RTM backing off. Lost the level 2 push. But
Yep.
they should be able to pick up the minions soon here and even out that level advantage. Bigsby obviously already showing to be very aggressive with the set last game. Nautilus this game is not scared to walk forward and try and engage, so definitely something we need to keep an eye on. As Peakley already getting the best of this matchup here in the top lane. Trade's definitely going in his favor so far.
Yeah, he definitely showing some a good comfort level on the Vladimir early on, taking about a half of Neptune Rise's health. And both junglers headed toward this bottom side right now, potentially. Matsuro flashes forward for the Zenith Blade. He'll connect it, and a typical name gets rooted up for first blood. That was a really good play by Matsuro. They're looking for Bigsby now. A couple of autos not quite going to come through. That'll be the disengage. But the flash Zenith Blade connects after the flash from typical name. The heal burned as well, and he still falls in the process.
Yeah, really well played by the RotM bot lane, and both junglers ended up 3 camping in the bottom. Gid ran straight down. Lord Arcane, spent a little bit of time hanging out by the Scuttle Crab. So because of that, RotM shows up first, is able to pick up that kill. Really well played by everyone there. Already a bit of a lead as there's a party there in the mid lane just hanging out in that bush recalling. Just waiting for Gerb to walk up just a tiny bit too far, and that's where we'll end up completing the recall.
Yeah, I really like that look. I know one of the things people have been talking. Oh, well, might not get to talk about it. Oath finds a good trade again. The Aftershock proc doing so much damage to Mr. Gerb. Yeah.
Nullifying Orb from the Rise instead of Mana Flow. Perhaps was a little bit scared of the Galio damage, and rightfully so, as he already had it popped. And Nunu's coming in. I don't think they'll be able to get much here, but maybe they can bail out Rise. No?
Nunu getting chased by the Vi at the time. Right on his heels. And then wraps around through a ward to top lane. Yeah, Neptune Rises should know. Like, they saw him enter river and then never saw him leave. Why is he still there? Alright, Q coming through. Oh, doesn't find it. The flash from Neptune Rises. He tried to predict, but just wasn't quite far enough on that flash. I like the look, though. B-Pots, unfortunately, has been by himself for a little bit in the bottom lane, and Bigsby realizes that the flash hook, the ignite, doesn't look like it's going to find it, because we're not focused on it. Mr. Gerb gets chunked through, forced to flash in the mid lane.
Yeah, and everyone down at low HP, but the Nunu came back around. Peakley, that Vladimir's pretty hard to gank.
Yeah, the
phase rush and the pool. Oh no, B-Pots is missing that entire. God, that's like 3 waves stacked up. That's so tragic.
Yeah, kind of one of the downsides of roaming is sometimes you're. Wait, Matsuro?
Buddy?
He's fine? He's
wow. Surprised he honestly made it out alive there, but he ended up canceling the recalls, so maybe worth. And he has no HP, and if he recalls, that's going to keep offsetting these recalls from the bot lane, which means neither of them will be in lane together. But it looks like he'll just stick around. And
oh, the flash forward Peakley hits this level 6, and the Hemo Plague is enough damage to take down Neptune Rises. Just sidesteps the snowball, but Mr. Gerb is here looking to trade that one back around. Teleport being channeled by Oath, but he's not going to get there in time as the Rise picks up the return kill in the top lane. But Peakley knew that damage, and Neptune Rises could do nothing but stand there and accept his fate.
Yeah, Picle obviously showing up really hard here on the Vladimir. Has pulled so much pressure into the top lane. Nunu has wrapped around, ganked him about 3 or 4 times, and hasn't gotten a single thing until that time where obviously Picle had committed for the solo kill. But already just so much pressure here from him. It's definitely very good for ROTM. As on the other side of the map,
Ooh.
ooh,
That dragon
wow,
was
that
at
was
5 health, and the
really
Jin
close.
W came through. That was almost the sneaky W, but not quite.
Yeah, no, that was taking a little close, but either way, our team picks up the dragon, got the solo kill on the other side of the map. You know, everything looking their way so far.
Yeah, I am kind of interested in Picle's inventory. Um, what does that build into?
That is the Leeching Leer, so that builds into the Rift Maker, which is the that's the Omnivamp AP item. So going for sustain, I don't think that there are a lot of champions that like Riftmaker right now. I think the item itself is kind of weak. So it's interesting to see that he's going for it here. I think a lot of Vladimirs usually would opt more for like, you know, either the Night Harvester or the Protobelt or the Leandries, depending on the situation. But perhaps valuing just the lane sustain, you know, an extended fight against Volibear, going to be able to stay topped off. Ooh. Bigsby having a little
Oh,
bit of trouble trying to walk
yeah.
back into lane.
I had to walk around the trap. The Galio ult coming in. Not going to find the connection onto Bigsby as he had the flash available. Gid going to say hello to the lane as well as they walk through. They could look for a dive here, but it might be a little bit telegraphed now. Lord Arcane
A
headed
little
down.
late.
Rice doesn't
But
have ult at least. Bigsby gets knocked through. Bunch of CC coming off. Who's actually tanking this tower? Matsuro's really low. Oh, B-Pots has aggro. That's not good. The Jin trap.
oh
Ooh, that was
no, the
almost
Jin.
so good. Rice
Oh,
can't get down here. The flash forward though. Double kill for typical name. Looking to clean that one up. The triple kill. There's no quadra unfortunately for him, but 3 kills for the Jin is huge early on. B-Pots picked up 2 himself, so the ADCs kind of equilibrate, but maybe not the best dive.
yeah, no, I think that the dive would have been fine. They just sort of committed to it a bit late. It's like they weren't quite sure if they wanted to look for it. And when they do finally look for it, Bigsby did a good job of canceling out the Vi Q. So it just did not start off on the right note. And pretty well played there by RTR to be in the right position to counter gank that. And now a typical name, very similar to last game now, very strong. 3-1-1, has a 20 CS lead. As soon as he recalls and spends his money, he's going to be a very scary Jin as Picle having to burn the ult to get out there. Bigsby's here
Ooh,
in the top lane.
that was
I
a
don't think he
hitbox.
can
He
get
looked
much,
like he
though.
sidestepped that, but yeah, everybody
Oh my
here.
god.
RTR just calls in the goons. Not able to find anything though, as
From
they'll
the
shove
party
that wave
bot
under
to the
tower.
party top, yeah. But they're losing out on plates mid. I don't... Rise, just go walk back mid, bud. Pick up your waves. I don't know about walking that way.
He thought better of it. I saw the Hex Flash starting to get channeled and got scared. Nunu going to get interrupted out of the snowball. They're still looking for this. This isn't like the damaging members from ROTM, though. And Matsuro gets pulled in. Taunt coming through from Oath. They'll bind up Bigsby for a little bit. Both top laners looking to join the
B-Pots
trap
is
over the wall.
here.
Not quite able to connect, but they'll pick off Bigsby. B-Pot's doing quite a bit of damage in this fight, but now the Jin ult across the top looking for the final kill. They'll get
Ooh.
1 and 2. The jump forward now off the ult from Neptune rises. He flashes forward onto B-Pots. The taunt from Oath actually keeps his interest for a little bit.
Oh.
Double kill for B-Pots. It's a messy fight that goes even? 3 for 3?
3 for 3 or 3 for 2? Did somebody respawn on the side of RTR?
Yeah, I think Bigsby was the first death, yeah?
Yeah, true. Yeah, no, that's somehow going even with RTM. They were the aggressors on it. They had the rotation. They were there first, but a typical name with the ult was able to pick up a couple or pick up a kill, you know, put in a little bit of extra damage, and that was a heck of a fight. RTM though, even though they were behind, you know, it was a little bit scary with Jin being so strong. That's the sort of fight where he wasn't able to contribute a ton with his lead, and now they're the ones with the 5-1 Caitlyn, you know, with the completed item. Um, are slightly ahead at this moment there in that bottom lane, so making plays away from the Jhin, not a terrible idea.
Do you think... Oh, Matsuro looking for
Oh,
the engage. They're going to call in the Galio ult, not quite able to find any knockups. Skid still maybe looking for it. The dash forward for the Justice Punch from Oath, but they just don't have the backup right now as Vpot's, you know, finally able to join the fight. Piclay has teleport up in like 1 second. It's just that little bar. Neptune Rises will be shortly behind, so both top laners ISO'd for the time being, but now Piclay has teleport up, Neptune Rises doesn't. This could be a really important, like, couple of seconds if they pull the trigger right now. Dragons started up by RTR, Bigsby trying to zone off. They get the snare onto Oath, looking for anything they can find. The trap line gets popped. Now it's available for everybody to go through. Neptune Rises still doesn't have
5v4.
teleport. The Leona ult connects onto Bigsby. It's a little bit of a split call, but they'll take down the Nautilus. They'll take down the Nunu. Jhin with the Gale Force hip thrust forward takes down Matsuro, but it puts him in a bad position. They're chasing him down in the shutdown for Oath.
Yeah, Piclay channeled the teleport early, and RTR didn't hard commit to the dragon. Means that it's a 5v4. Neptune Rises didn't even try to walk down, so it's kind of strange that the rest of the team, stuck around and tried to fight that. And unfortunately, on the retreat there, they ended up splitting up, which means the typical name on the Jhin, even though he's so strong, doesn't have the front line to protect him, doesn't have anyone to create any space for him, and even though he trades kills out, him going down, giving up that shutdown is not what they want to see. And Oath on the Galio ended up picking it up, is going to be extremely strong on this recall. And RTM, it seems very firmly in their favor now. They have the two dragons. They ended up picking up the kills there, and Neptune Rises.
He's an Alcove gamer.
Yeah,
it doesn't
even though
benefit
he
him.
has been playing on his own for the last couple minutes on the other side of the map, does stick around a little bit too long. Doesn't pick up anything, ends up dying, and now our team's even going to get the Herald as well. Just everything going in favor of them.
Yeah, maybe another turret plate or two in mid lane will be the price extracted by RTR, but a lot of good plays so far from Return of the Middle Sticks as Oath teleports down to the bottom lane. Matsuro looking to just solo Mr. Gerb, doing all right so far, giving a good account of himself, but Bpots finally walks in. Gid actually coming as well, looking for the pinch-in. They're not going to find anything, but yeah.
It's just a little bit of a asserting of dominance there from the Leona. Just dropping everything, letting Rise know this isn't his lane anymore. Is Oath kind of getting clowned on? There's a few people down here trying to kill him, and he's gonna be able to get out with this flash.
Yeah, and meanwhile, mid lane just in shambles for RTR. They're roaming with these death squads and finding nothing for it. They're going to lose the chunk in mid as well from Shelly, and yeah, it's about 1,000 gold lead only. It feels like it should be more in favor of RTM actually, given the run of play so far.
I think that the big thing is that most of the gold for RTR is sitting on the Jhin. And Jhin has just sort of not really been able to contribute to the last couple fights, so it feels like everything is just going RTM's favor. Just because the gold lead that RTR has, they're just not able to utilize his Piclay. They have to burn flash to get out there. This is, again, that roaming death squad, just 3-man top, 3-man bot, 3-man top again. RTM doing a good job of not getting caught out by it, though.
Yeah, I think another little advantage, just the small minor CS leads kind of benefiting RTR, 12 in the mid lane, 15 in the bottom lane, makes up a little chunk of gold for him, but
Yeah,
we'll
definitely.
see how everything continues. Some items coming through. Oath finished up the Proto Belt. You have the Rift Maker completed in the top lane for Piclay. Oath still maybe looking for that, but there's the Trinity Force for Gid, and you see only 2 mythic items completed on the other side. This could be a really big moment for RTM to kind of flex their, even just this small gold advantage because they were able to complete their items earlier.
Yeah, they're absolutely on power spike, so any fights that they take right now should go in their favor. And Oath just beating up on the bear up there in the top lane, letting them know who's boss. That Proto Belt finish, Proto is sort of a disgusting item now for the Galio because it gives so much move speed after activation running towards enemies. So be used as an engage tool. Is they're beating each other here in the top lane. I don't think either one can ever actually kill the other though,
They
unless they
could
stick
with
around
jungle help
forever.
if Gid
Oh,
over the
true.
wall. Charging up the Vault Breaker. They're not gonna
He
fire
does
it.
have flash, but not willing to blow it there. Valdor still has the ultimate ability and his flash, so not likely to drop there.
Oh,
As
Drift
Nunu,
King Nunu coming in. That was a really good Justice Punch to get out my Oath. Channels the ult. Tower gets turned off, though. The Volley Bear ult. OP Ohm Wrecker coming through, and the shutdown for Neptune Rises. Gid, I think, didn't want that as soon as he went over the wall. Maybe regretting it. Has to flash out. But the pick potentially in mid lane, as typical name, hip thrusts his way out. Can they actually track him down at the end? Beatpots flashes forward for an auto. Flash answered by a typical name, and he'll be out of there. Now Gid walks back into the Nunu and Volley Bear, but the rest of the team here to support him. Peakley not able to close the gap, but the ace Nunu didn't block that. All right, well.
to be fair, if Nunu blocked it, he would have had to go all the way back into melee range of Vi. It would have been kind of scary. Probably would have given his life for it. So instead,
Oh,
trying to
Matsuro,
just
the
get out.
max range Zenith Blade again onto Mr. Gerb, but do they have the damage? Oh, he tries to realm warp his way out of there. Not going to get out. Peakley finds his kill, and it's a 3-kill advantage now for RTM, and that's the Dragon Spawn. So Cloud Dragon, the number third of the game? Jeez. Mushmouth.
Correct. The number third of the game. Is it going to be able to pick this up? This does put RTM on soul point. So they should be able to pressure that here in the next few minutes. And they've really been on top of the Dragons this game. A really early, 23-minute spawn for the soul. It's something you see in pro games pretty often, but outside of that, not super common. Really good on RTM this game to be on top of that timer.
Yeah, and they took advantage of that little window where they had the power spike. Now it's kind of leveled out as a lot of the first items finally completed for the Reapers. You have the double Funfire Wind Cape along with a Leandries and the Gale Force now, all in the inventory. And yeah, I mean, we've talked a little bit in previous casts about how it's not necessarily the gold counts that matter too much. I don't really know what this is accomplishing. It's not the gold counts that count, it's how many items you actually have in inventory that is your strength. And for right now, at least, it's going to be very even across the board.
Yeah, no, I think honestly surprising that the 7-1 Caitlyn doesn't really have an item advantage over Jhin. Jhin very much even in terms of stats. Their inventories look very similar in terms of just raw value.
Yeah, it's only a 200 raw gold lead, even. Peakley and Neptune Rises fighting to the death down here in the bottom lane. The Volley Bear uses the ult. They're looking to dive in the top, though, as Mr. Gerb gets locked up. Really good combo again by Matsuro. Neptune Rises low. Peakley has his third transfusion.
Power Q?
Yeah.
And,
I was like, I know the name of the ability. Why isn't it coming to me? But yeah. Tower in the top lane falls. And that'll be the second of the game for RTM. Typical name was able to chunk through the mid tower at least. Peakley walks maybe a little bit too far forward, trying to trade back. Hits the Empowered Transfusion though. Tides of Blood, the flash forward. Does he have the damage with the pool? Just enough with the auto for Peakley to take the solo kill in the bottom lane.
And Peakley has just had so much pressure in the side lane. Every time that it's the Volibear that he finds there, he's been able to either pressure him out or pick up kills. Earlier, maybe 5 minutes ago, they were matching the Vladimir with the Rise, and it seemed like that matchup was pretty even, but every time it's Vladimir and Volibear, Vladimir definitely coming out on top. Peakley has just been really strong on this. Now his 2 completed items is really a force to be reckoned with here with the Vladimir at this point in the game.
Yep, now the 3-man squad for RTM, walking to bot lane, maybe looking for this last outer tower. And right now there's not the forces for RTR to match this, so should fall in pretty quick fashion. So this little macro play going to really benefit ROTM.
Yep, be able to pick up that last outer turret just after 21 minutes, so none too soon. So it should open up the map for them a bit, allow them to push in, get a little bit more vision, contest these camps as Lord Arcane is trying to get his Grom, but he's not allowed to get that anymore.
Or is he?
We'll see. Our team quit contesting it, so he might be able to sneak it. Or is he going to try and defend mid?
Oh.
Or is he just going to get caught mid?
Yeah, the two junglers going to collapse. A lot of CC being blown on both sides, but no real damage yet. Matsuro now finally in a little bit of trouble as the Galio ult going to make sure that everybody walks away from the fight. They're going to channel the curtain call as well. Oath may be caught here on the side. Bponts and Peaklight just a little bit late to the fight on this, coming from the mid lane. Lord Arcane takes the headshot, and a couple of ults exchanged for no real benefit to either side. Also nothing to fight over. There's still 50 seconds before the dragon even spawns.
Kind of a random fight there in the jungle. Is he just the CC bots on the side of ROTM just sort of half engaging onto Lord Arcane. He's able to walk away, and it looked a little bit scary there. It's RTR's counter engage with the Volibear teleport with the curtain call. Forced the Galio ult out, and Oath even has to flash to get away. So won't have that up for the next fight. And flash on Galio, it's always an impactful ability. So
yeah, some things really quick in the inventory for this fight. Double Zanya's Hourglass completed for Peakley and Oath, and then the Shirelia's Battle Song again for Bigsby. I just want to throw that in. It's not as much of a meme on Nautilus, but it's still maybe not the right item. Oh, Matsuro! Oh, he's potted up. The Elixir of Iron for the Leona. This is serious mode right now. We're fighting for the soul.
Well, Gid has a
oh, the hook!
Angle
they
here.
find Bpots though. The fight breaks out. Bpots is able to flash out. He's actually still alive here in the back. They weren't able to take down the AD carry. Vi and Volibear just trade lives, and now the 4v4 finally continues. Mr. Gerb going to be the sacrifice as Vladimir just powers his way through the enemy team. Taunt doesn't quite connect from Oath, as they're still trying to track down anyone they can. Bpots forward, the Q, the auto, it's blocked. The ace in the hole not quite able to find its way through, and RTM finds the fight win thanks to the power of the Elixir of Iron, and that should be Cloud Soul for them.
Yeah, no, they should be able to pick this up uncontested. In 24-minute Cloud Soul, it's not the perfect soul for you, but either way, RTM has been very diligent about these dragons. A really good fight there around as Bpots got engaged on, but was able to make it out altogether unscathed. I think that eventually they'll take it down.
Yeah, maybe it wanted to... You know, it would have been convenient if they had like a character that shot bullets at the dragon rather than just trying to punch it with their fists. But...
maybe just fired, one more time to kill it, just a little bit sooner. But there were minions bottom lane calling, so had to go for that.
So Cloud Soul completed for RTM at 24 minutes. That's nice to have in the back pocket. 3,000 gold as well in the not quite, about 2,000 gold, I guess, if I can do math, in the advantage for RTM. This is still a lot closer than you would expect, seeing how tilted the fights have been. But again, it's all on the Jhin. Really need to watch a typical lane.
Extremely one-sided, but the gold lead just doesn't really say that. RTM though, they're acting like they have pressure, and RTR is acting like they don't, like they're not able to contest these things. They're having a lot of trouble in these team fights, just a lack of damage. And even in the last fight, they were able to engage onto the Caitlyn, but because Gid on the Vi ended up getting onto Jhin, it meant that they didn't have any damage to actually kill Caitlyn. So it's just not looking too good for them so far. As ROTM,
I really like the look. Good Gale Force again by typical name. Really getting the maximum usage out of his summoner spells and items, but now going to have that down for, like 10 seconds until it's back up.
Yeah, unfortunately that means that this Elixir of Iron might run out. Mitsuru is still posturing here. Ooh. Went for the cheeky E, tried to pick it up, doesn't quite get it, but they're really fighting for this vision around the Baron, which is always good.
Yeah, Volibear on the flank. Mr. Gerb on the rise has teleport, so this is a weird situation, but all 5 members of RTM have grouped up. All I can think of, Have you seen the video of Kobe? You know, they group up as 5 and form the fist, and he makes this. Anyway, Baron is in the cards for ROTM. Curtain call opened up, but Matsuro and Oath doing their diligence to go ahead and block that one as Gid smites away the Baron. No contest available from RTR. And again, there isn't a huge gold gap between these two teams, but just not willing to walk in and fight for it. And, you know, maybe unable to because Neptune Rises went to bottom lane with like 10 seconds left on his teleport there.
Yeah, no, not the perfect play there from RTR. They sort of gave that up by not sticking around trying to get vision onto the Baron, as well as, you know, just throwing their top laner into the bottom lane. So even if they do contest, there's just very little chance of them being able to get anything. And RTM took advantage of it. You know, credit to them to identify that, you know, pick up that Baron, and now they should be able to push with it. I would imagine that we'd see, you know, maybe a 1-3-1 here. You know, Vladimir in a side lane with teleport, Galio chilling mid with his ult, and then the other 3-man on the side. But they're a little disconnected on their push, it feels like. You know,
Yeah.
with Gid still clearing camps, B-Pots and Mitsuro are all the way up here. They're kind of alone. Galio's in their back pocket, and now Vi is as well, but here we go. Now they're together. They have the wave. They're setting up the siege, and Picle's going to be pushing top.
Yeah, setting up 2 waves to push, maybe a little bit slower than you would otherwise like, but got there in the end. Ace in the hole as now RTM guarding the gap between mid and top lane. All of the wards, you know, lit up that jungle. There's nowhere for RTR to walk in. So it should be a clean take for Picle up on the top side of the map. They just need to be careful to watch all 5 of these goons walking through the jungle.
Ooh. And it looks like Oath is actually looking for bottom lane here. He's not going to be able to ult in. If there's a fight, he's going to have to teleport. But they're walking up their auto
They're already hooking Gid. 1 teleport channeled already as Galio looking to collapse. Picle's still staying up in the top lane. Oath finds a taunt onto the Rise. Nautilus ult looking for disengage as the Solar Flare just zoning everybody. They're going to take down Mr. Gerb. The Rise experience 1 and 4 now, unfortunately for him. Oath hits the stopwatch just to make sure that he's safe as Volibear jumps into the back line, looking to tear through, but Neptune Rises, unfortunately falls as B-Pots takes him down. Picle's on a rampage. Typical name gets Justice punched to death in the top side, and it's the Bud Light ace for RTM on the doorsteps of the base, and we'll go to game 3.
EDC in 2021, Jin not able to do anything as he just sort of got chased on the back after that fight. And ROTM is able to get the pick onto Gerb. Gerb had a rough game, and you know, once he's down, it just sort of looks like ROTM finishes it off. And you know, well played by them. You know, very commanding. They didn't have the biggest gold lead, but at no point, you know, past like 15 minutes, did it seem like they weren't in the driver's seat.
Yeah, what was the difference you think between game 1 and game 2 for them?
The difference, it felt like top lane matchup was actually really massive in that Neptune was just having a lot of trouble in his matchup that entire game of game 2. Game 1, he was sort of a force on the Cho'Gath no matter what. And you know, had a positive matchup, and it felt like Picle wasn't really able to contribute as much because of that. But once RotM flipped the script, they ended up getting a positive matchup there in the top lane. You know, it feels like once Picle was able to start contributing to the team fights a lot more, it feels like that was sort of the big change there for them.
Yeah, well, um, let's go ahead and take a short break again. We'll be back with game number 3, the deciding game for LAS Week 1 between RTR and ROTM. So we'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Wait, did we pay out the prediction?
Yep, I
Who
did.
won that?
Under. It was
Aw, unlucky.
significantly under.
Unlucky. They weren't playing bloody enough.
Let's think of a prediction for game number 3. What are you feeling? What do you think?
It's hard to pick ones that people can't just look at their match history and know the answer to. Oh, Hyder got Thresh. What the fuck? Okay, what about like Thresh assists?
I feel like you could look at the match history.
Oh, 100%. But you know, who would do that? Who would do that? We could do Kled Nasus.
Oh.
How does that match?
I got this. I got this.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Start prediction. NASA stacks at 20.
Oh no.
What's like typical? It's like
For Nasus? At
like
this elo?
300 stacks at like 20, right?
Well, I think like 500, but 300 at this elo probably, yeah.
Probably 350. 350.
I wonder if he does the Emax. That'll be really interesting, actually.
All right. I'm gonna set this up. We'll do 5 minutes this time because give you some more time. So there's a prediction for game 3. Get your votes in. There's a Nasus. Spoiler alert.
How dare you?
I mean, I'll go ahead. We'll pull up the draft so you can look at it. Yeah, there's some power picks for RTM that got through this game, right?
Yeah, no, it's sorry, I'm voting on the prediction.
Yeah.
Wait. Alright, so looking at the draft, it's very strange that... So, a couple of the champions that had been banned every game so far was the Thresh from Metsuro, as well as the Warwick from Gid. So obviously both of those making it through. This time RTR opting for the Caitlyn Vladimir bans. So perhaps deciding that Vladimir was a bit too much of a problem in the previous game, and that they were just done dealing with the Caitlyn.
Yeah, and then just the prio on the Vi. I mean, maybe hoping... if they're planning on the Blitzcrank, Caitlyn's harder to grab than a lot of other AD carries, just because of the net. So maybe that's the thing. I don't know.
Maybe.
So you ban Caitlyn. Maybe that's not in there. They just didn't want to deal with it for a 3rd game in a row. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that might be it. It might be that, you know, a typical name felt like he got the lead, but he wasn't able to pressure it as much because, you know, it is Caitlyn. So maybe they wanted something a little bit less safe in lane. But I'm not sure that Ashe is any less safe or any less of a bully in lane, so I don't know if it worked out for them necessarily. Vayne blind is interesting. Vayne's picked up a lot more popularity after the preseason patch. But still not one of, you know, like the top 80 carries that you would think to see. It's very interesting.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, like, the mid-game scaling for RTR. I know people meme Nasus about being late game, but he isn't. He falls off super hard once you get the ability to kite him. Anyway, like, when you hit 15 to 20 minutes with this team comp, like Vi, Nasus, even Victor when he gets 2 items starts to get those transforms. Vayne on 2 to 3 items. This team is a monster. But before that, they're pretty useless.
Yeah, one thing I would say is with the new Nasus build that has been coming out, a lot of people are doing Emax, and you sort of, you know, just like hit level 5, hit level 6, and you just win every trade. So, you know, once you get to that point, very strong. But again, yeah, they are in the first like 5 to 8, maybe even 10 minutes of this game, it's not very strong across the board for them, outside of like a cheeky blitzcrank pull somewhere. Is
All right.
Fizz Victor, is that a good matchup?
It's fine for Fizz, but we'll see how it goes. Are you ready to load in then?
Always.
All right. Let's take a look then in 3, 2, 1, go. On the blue side of the rift. On the blue side of the rift. They fell in game number 2, but looking to bounce back here in game number 3 are Rising Tide Reapers. Neptune rises in the top lane on Susan, and Susan is a bitch. Lord Arcane, in the jungle playing Vi. Mr. Gerb in the mid lane on Victor, and a typical name in Bigsby playing Vayne and Blitzcrank.
And RotM on the red side looking like they might be doing a little bit more cheeky stuff here at the level 1. Real quick peek lane the top on Kled. Get on that Warwick in the jungle. Oath playing Fizz, and then B-Pots and Matsuro on the Ash Thresh. Oh no.
All right, here comes the invade.
They're wrapping around. What is... Sorry, the minimap. Wait, why did blue team... They didn't even try to go into the jungle. They just wrapped all the way back around.
Is this the big brain?
What the fuck is
Wait, they
this?
don't have Nasus. Oh no. Oh, the hook! The blind hook into the bush? What? He just dies, but like, why did he think that they were there?
What on earth?
What just happened?
So Blitzcrank hit the hook, but he ended up killing his jungler for it.
Completely blind fucking hook. They saw nobody that entire time, and they just assume, oh yeah, we got invaded on red side. They're going to be sitting in our red bush current.
They had the read, but unfortunately both of the soul laners didn't believe, had already left. And that's a kill in the pocket of B-Pots already. If taking him off of the Caitlyn was supposed to make him less comfortable, he should be feeling pretty comfortable after that. Early kill. Neptune, already worse for wear there. Coming out on the bottom side of that trade.
Yeah, this should not be a good matchup for Nasus in any regard, especially considering the extra grievous wounds on the pull from Bear Trap on a rope, which is still just a phenomenal ability. Oh, good hook from Bigsby, finds B-Pots.
Oh, he's just...
Aftershock proc, he's just standing in there, yeah. Now they're going forward for Bigsby. The level 2 really coming to fruition here. Hook gonna land onto him. B-Pot's still looking for it. Walks forward for some autos, but now it's Matsuro v2. There's about 400 health between everybody. No summoner spells available. Good hook from Bigsby as he hits level 2. Gets the bop. Looking for it, but here comes Gid. He flies in level 3 on the Warwick and chomps down a typical name who's still level 1 for some reason. But now in the mid lane, Oath hits his level 3 looking for the trade, and Gid should be able to track down the Robit. Eats him up for the double kill. Meanwhile, the trade actually didn't go very well for Oath in the mid lane. Just eats a good chunk of damage for his trouble.
Yeah, no, he has already been pressured pretty hard, as the melee range matchup often is, but Gid already got 2 kills bottom, decided it was time for a mid. Maybe he'll come up for the jungler.
Wait, Peakley's roamed down to contest this crab, gets dismounted, but the last auto from Mini Kled takes the kill. Just pokes him with the little spear. I guess it's a bayonet. It's a gun, isn't it? But yeah. No, it's a spear.
I think it's a spear, and then I think he has like a little gun.
Yeah, it's his pocket pistol. So
yeah,
that's the gun.
Pistol that shoots like a shotgun, and yeah. Either way, that bot fight started really poorly for ROTM, but Gid had started on that side of the map, didn't cross over to go to his red, instead ran all the way down to clean it up. Just good awareness there, really good pathing, was able to pick that up, pick up the kill mid as well, where, Gerb had the pressure, but not enough to deal with Gid. Already.
Do you have...
Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm thinking about something else in the middle of this game that I shouldn't be. Do you still get the item damage, from the mythic items? in the spectator client?
I have no idea.
Okay, let's
Probably.
try to remember to check that this game if we can. We also have to remember at 20 minutes to check NASA stacks, so that could be a little we can always go back and check, I guess. So that's nice. But or
Oh,
somebody in chat will yell at me. Anyway, hook from Matsuro gonna land, but Lord Arcane is here to try to counter gank. Ooh, a good sidestep there. Beepots gets the lantern, but Matsuro gonna pay for it, unfortunately.
Vi just holding the Vault Breaker forever there. Was able to pick up the kill, and these junglers are in love with ganking bottom lane. Like, throughout this entire series, it really has been a story of who can gank bottom lane more, and who can impact it. As Pikley, with these double buffs, if he doesn't have double buffs, I feel like that almost goes in Nast's favor, but instead has to burn the flash because of it. Let's see what he's maxing. Oh, he's maxing Q. Oh no.
He's trying to get in with these vicious strikes. He's doing a pretty good job. Like, you have to hold in. Clint is such a champion, right? You just have to go balls to the wall every single time that like you have that W up almost, and then you have to stay in for 4 autos, otherwise you're not getting the value out of it. He's gonna remount here in a second, and that's gonna be pretty unfortunate for Neptune Rises. Even
And Gid is here as well. They might be able to dive him before he hits 6. It'd be pretty massive for keeping the dog down. As Oath just trading here in the mid lane. You know, post 3, the trade's definitely better for Fizz. You know, Fizz notoriously gets poked down before then, but after 3 can trade pretty evenly.
Yeah, I'm curious if Mr. Gerb knows the tech for this matchup. Doesn't look like he does. Well, Shark gonna land, and Oath should find that solo kill. Yeah. That's the Fizz gameplay experience, the loop that Riot apparently wants in their video game. And Ignite from Matsuro, going to find the kill on typical name. Pikley tries to walk in and steal a Gromp for some reason, but not able to find that one, unfortunately.
For some reason, that's the mental warfare. If you're the Vi and you lose your Gromp to Pikley invading you, it's over, man. It's over. The tech, would that be to just buy Azanias?
No, you max Q instead of E, so that you get more shield, so that you live.
That makes sense, but I feel like the other thing is that
then you don't have any wave clear. Yeah.
You kind of have to set your recall so that you recall before Fizz hits 6, so he can't insta all in you. And then like Fizz has to recall because he'll be at an item disadvantage, so you kind of nullify the level 6 power spike, and then you can buy like a stopwatch or some MR early, or some HP, anything to just not get one shot.
That's way too big brain. I'd rather just max Q and stay alive. But you know.
Yeah, that's much more difficult than recalling at level 5. But either way, Neptune, for how bad this matchup was looking earlier, has been doing fine. Just that innate lifesteal and sustain from Nasus doing him wonders. He's doing fine here in the top lane.
Yeah, 105 stacks when we click on him just a second ago. We'll see him continue to stack those up.
And this wave going in. Wither is a fun ability. Thank you, Riot. That is so much fun. Much counterplay.
Yeah, there's a lot of really engaging gameplay loops in this game, we'll say. So.
Yeah. Ooh, one thing. Ashe lost a lot of popularity in preseason. The only time that she's being played now is with the Comet Imperial Mandate build. Interestingly enough, Beepot's not opting for that this time around. Going instead for Fleet Footwork. Has
Another
Gerb.
Shark onto Gerb. That looks like it should be a dead victor. No, the Nullifying Orb tech is actually enough to keep him alive. No Ignite from Oath, yeah.
Without Ignite, it's just so hard to completely 100 to 0. Instead, you know, just dropping the combo, getting him down to a couple hundred HP. You know, that'll have to do for now.
Yeah, Pikley looking to stick around. He's got one auto before he remounts. There it is. And now maybe can turn this back around. Has the
like
Mario Kart double dash, but now he's taken immediately back off. Yeah, Neptune with the ult definitely wins this.
Stack him! Stack him! For the believers!
Oh, the Wither!
Get the stacks!
Oh!
Oh no, he dies to the turret. Nasus, the champion of the believers, going in, picking up the +12 now, right?
Yeah, Hook lands onto Bigsby. They pull him back in. Matsuro just dominant on this pick. I don't know why you give him Thresh, but
Has been really effective so far with that. Has done a good job of picking up these cheeky hooks, and already just a massive lead for them here in this bottom lane. 20 CS. That might be the first time in the series that they've had a CS lead in bot lane, but doing really well so far. As
Lord
they're
Arcane
baiting the
coming in for
jungler
the
in.
gank, goes ahead and grabs the Assault and Battery onto Matsuro, but doesn't want to break the wall of the boxes. They just turn it back around onto a typical name. Beepot's in the volley isn't quite in range, but they'll take the Vi for their trouble. In the mid lane, we had a murder-suicide, it looked like. We'll have to get Riot to give us the replay on that one, but definitely a murder-suicide.
Yeah, but this bot lane has just been so impactful here for RTM already, with the Thresh. They're even baiting in the jungler saying, hey, we can take this fight. They end up trading positively and nearly, picking up both the kills. Unfortunately for them, a typical name limps away with 1 HP. But, yeah, no, RTM has had a really good start here so far. Even Gid, had that massive lead with the early kills. Hasn't had too much impact since then, except that he's up, 20 CS and is looking for this Herald already. So
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I want to highlight, though, is typical name has been the guy for RTR in the first 2 games, and now he's down 2 kills and 30 CS. Like, just a fantastic job by this bottom lane to find that advantage for Game 3. I don't know if it's entirely on them or if it's on RTR for leaving Thresh up, but um, we'll pretend.
well, they're
I mean,
doing
I
a
guess
good
you have
job
to
of showing them
execute.
why you
Yeah.
wouldn't leave Thresh up.
Yeah, I guess you have to execute on the pick after they leave it up. So,
Oh, and
Oath with
Gerb,
another
his
shark.
jungler's here. I don't know if Oath can actually kill him.
Ooh, dodges out of the Vault Breaker. Gid looking for the counter gank, but nobody sticks around from RTR, so it'll just be a shove in for Oath and Gid here in the mid lane. They have Shelly available if they so choose to drop that,
There's a
but
lot of people
have
here
to be
from
careful.
RTR.
Bigsby just walks in, finds Oath. He thought he had a typical name by himself, didn't realize the Blitzcrank was also there, and the hook is in time. The Ash Arrow, unfortunately, just not going to do a whole lot other than stun up Bigsby and annoy him a little bit, but
That was a good roam up from the RTR bottom lane, but it's strange that Oath even walked up. He knows that there are 4 people here. Like, they were standing on a ward, but ends up getting caught out, CC'd, and ends up dropping. And this might mean that RTR is able to pick up a dragon. It'd be massive for them if they're able to stall out that soul.
I think
That
it's
said,
super
RTR,
weird that the Vise have
they're
got
not
Blue
starting
Smite,
it.
by the way. Just,
I think it's super comp dependent. Oh no, Kled
oh,
will come. Ooh. You hate to see it.
yeah, maybe the minimap got in the way. Not really sure. Dragon started up for RTM.
RTR, they had the pressure, they had the pick, but they just wouldn't start the dragon, didn't want the 5v4. Instead, they end up just missing out on it.
Oh, hook over the wall. Matsuro finds the hook. He finds the suppress. Get over the wall. They get the trade at least. So Bixby thought he had the pick, but instead it's going to be 2 going the other way as B-Pots layers in with the Rangers' focus. Oath still trying to chase down Mr. Gerb. Hits the Shark, and that should be a dead Victor. Oh, gets caught in the gravity well, turning it back around with a Chaos Storm. Ignite not going to finish that one off, so not
He might be
quite.
able to Q through a minion and then E onto Victor.
Then he
No,
can't
he's
get
not
out.
like
Then he dies to the turret.
worth.
Honestly, fair.
Victor misses those 2 waves. 100% worth. That's okay. Gid's here, though, to take care of it. Make sure he doesn't have to give his own life. Except Gid might drop here.
Oh, that shouldn't have missed.
Bigsby
All right, well,
not able to make contact there.
Immortal Shield Bow's finished up for B-Pots. He's got a pretty big lead down in the bottom lane.
Yeah.
Almost 2 items compared to the not even 1 yet. Matsuro just walks in looking for Neptune Rises. That didn't hurt too much, but Gid is about half health. Another hook from Matsuro is Oath. The 4-man squad of Prophecy has made its way to the top lane, and Peakley takes the 3rd kill of the game for himself.
I feel like this is exactly what happened last game. when Neptune Rises refused to join his team for the dragon fight. He ends up pushing out top forever, and then just gets 4-manned off the reset from ROTM.
God, I've seen this Kled build 3 times now, and it still feels like it's trolling.
Yeah, no, I mean, Kled, from what I've seen, I think you're supposed to rush Ravenous instead of going Sunfire first. But, I mean, Sunfire is just such a good item on him now, I suppose. Once you finish, like, Ravenous, Hydra, and then, like, Asterix, you just have so many health bars, it's pretty impossible to kill you. As Oath
Walks in
found
and
a couple
finds
friends.
Bigsby. Yeah. Another hook on Mr. Gerb in the mid lane. B-Pots plays really well around that gravity well. Good hook, though, from Bigsby in the bottom lane as they'll trade that back. Unfortunately, Bigsby steals the kill with the static field. I think that's just the name of the ult. Boom! Static field. Let's go. All right. I'm more happy about that than anything else. Yeah, 16-7. This is a much bigger gold lead than we saw at all in game number 2 for RTM. Piccolo just kind of flies in out of nowhere, lands the bear trap onto Bigsby, forces them off of the turret. Meanwhile, in mid lane, B-Pots and Matsuro grab the mid lane turret. And yeah, everything coming up ROTM right now, especially around this mid lane pairing, or the spot lane pairing, excuse me.
Lane that
I mean,
is
they're mid lane
currently
right
mid.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, B-Pots and Matsuro have just been so good this game about, finding picks and just wherever they are, they're picking up kills. I think a lot of that is off the back of just this Thresh pick has just been so effective. Matsuro definitely seems very at home.
Mr. Neptune Rises is at 3:27 right now.
Oh no.
16 minutes in.
If he showed up to the fucking dragon fight, then he wouldn't have that many. The cutoff's 20 minutes, right?
Cutoff's 20 minutes, yeah. He's got 3.5 minutes to pick up like 20, about 30 stacks maybe. Oath, gets pulled down out of the blast cone, and Bigsby, the man, has stolen another kill. 3-2 on the Blitzcrank.
Bigsby is 1v9 out here, solo carrying the... Is he building Shrelius again?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I've seen this guy buy it more than I've seen it bought like all preseason. Like nobody buys that item. That's alright. RTR pressuring here in the mid lane after they got that pick.
Ashero able to connect the hook as well onto Neptune Rises. They're just trying to beat the dog. Charge around from the side as Piccolo looking to get involved. B-Pot's able to flash out, stay alive. Volley comes back through. He's dominating. Mr. Gerb in trouble on the backside. Gets hit by the bear trap, but he's still alive somehow. But now here comes the Vayne. Shut down for her. That the stealth just doesn't matter. Oath walks into the fight. Hey guys, what happened here? Oh, we killed 4 of them? Cool, guys. Awesome.
Yeah, no, RTM, even a member down with Oath in the Death Chamber, is able to pick up the kills there. Should be able to pick up this dragon as well, and everything's just sort of going in their favor. That said, a typical name did pick up the massive shutdown, 950 gold from B-Pots. So, if there were a champion that you wanted it on to carry this game, Vayne would be it. Well on her way to that Gwynsu's Rageblade. It could be really strong. We'll have to keep an eye on her in fights. See if she'll be able to carry this game from the Fed position.
Yeah, the double Divine Sunderers on the top half of the map. There's the Shrelius. Looking for Gid.
Gid wants his blue buff. He ain't scared of no one.
Is Gid taking it? Oh, hell yeah. That's a
damn
jungler
right.
after your heart. Oh, Shark just doesn't quite connect. Neptune Rises forced away.
Yeah, keep bullying the dog. Don't let him stack.
Wait, you're under? I thought you voted over.
I think I wanted to vote over.
Oh, he's at 348. 348 right now. Can he get another stack?
Anything for a
minute.
minute.
The flash over the wall, but it still follows him. The chase from Oath as they're looking for it. He's still on the Gromp. He killed the Gromp. I could check on him in a second. Maybe we'll wait till 20.
I think he stacked Gromp. I think he
missed it. He might still be at 348. He gets taken for a ride here. Oh, Oath almost was the last stacks. Now he's working on Peakley, but it's not going to matter as B-Pots takes him down. All right, 30 seconds. He's in the death chamber that whole time. Did he get it? Did he stack the Gromp?
Can't check until
Did
he
he-
comes back up.
Did he check the... Did he stack the Gromp? Do I have believers in the Gromp stack? Anyway, there's a Rift Herald mid, by the way. This is Sheila just crushing through some turrets. That'll be the inhibitor turret at 1948. And the inhibitor. And RTM will get out. All right.
The inhibitor, 3 dragons, a pretty massive gold lead of 7k.
All right. Did he stack the Gromp? Ladies and gentlemen, 363. He stacked the Gromp. Over
How
wins.
much did you get from the fucking Gromp? What?
You got 12. You get 12 from
You get
jungle camps.
12 from
Yeah.
Gromp?
From jungle camps.
Holy
Yeah.
shit. That's kind of insane.
All right. Over wins. Just barely. They changed it for jungle masses to maybe be a thing, and it's still not. So, don't play.
Weird, 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 weird.
Honestly, just remove this champion from the game, please. Thank you, Riot.
He could use a real rework. The issue is that they would like want to keep his identity. They'd be like, oh no, his Q is his identity, and you know his ult has to match Renekton's, and Wither is so iconic. So the only thing that they would rework is E, which right now is like his best ability. So I don't know.
That's probably why they don't rework him, honestly. This fight actually doesn't go well for Peakley, but now it will. Another hook gonna land, and he'll eventually die. B-Pots on another killing spree, 11 and 2 on the
3
Ashe.
completed items. Oh my god.
Both of the bot lane has 15 of 23 kill participation. E over, and oh, just swinging by. He'll take that kill. 5-0 and 8 unkilled on the Warwick so far.
Yeah, and they have the pressure. It's 5v3. They could probably just start up Baron. Yep, it looks like Peakley and B-Pots are starting it up. Gid wants that Gromp, though. Understandable. Gonna secure that before moseying on over to the Baron. And this looks like RTR's not even contesting it, so it's going the way of ROTM.
So
Very
inhibitor at
dominant.
19 minutes, Baron at 22. Well on track for an early exit to the game. Cloud Soul even up in a minute 10. You know, didn't want the Infernal Soul in game number 1, but 2 Cloud Souls? Get those early.
Yeah, no, they are getting both of them. That said, as far as champions for, you know, Cloud Soul, Kled, not the worst. Warwick, not the worst. Ashe likes the cooldown reduction. So, you know, it's not the worst in the world.
Yeah. Even the CDR and the Fizzle. Not that that has a cooldown, but now it really doesn't. So that's pretty neat.
True, true. You're setting up around here. Looks like they might want to just pressure for Soul instead of trying to get too much with the Baron. Oh? Story of this game, Hyder just getting picks left and right.
Oh, the shark that didn't hit actually got the kill. Typical name's dead as well. And RTR forced to flee. Neptune rises. You know, probably not getting any more stacks out of this fight. B-Pot's on a rampage. And the Ashe arrow from downtown. The flash forward for the volley. Double kill. And the hook underneath the tower just to wrap things up. The Bud Light ace for ROTM. And it's 29-9 in kill count. And the game and the series to return to the middle sticks.
A really good reverse sweep there after losing the first game.
Oh.
They stayed focused, were able to pick up the close game in game 2 and then just a blowout there in game 3. Really well played to ROTM Gold as they're able to pull that one off.
Yeah, really good not to tilt after game number 1, honestly. Like, that wasn't a fun game to be any of the ROTM members in. And bounced back, had a back and forth game number 2, but then felt like they got a lot of comfort picks, which they did, and they looked comfortable. So good for them. kind of like we mentioned, it's one thing to get the comfort picks, and it's another to showcase. Yeah, those should have stayed on the ban list probably. Um,
Yeah, no, I'd be surprised if we see that thresh let through again. But if it is, good to know that Metsuru is able to take advantage of it and have a really good game there.
yeah, so that'll do it for LAS. Now we're going to take a probably a little bit longer than the last couple break, and we'll be back with LRS versus the Expelled Alchemists. Um, Possibly a Full Metal Alchemist reference, maybe not.
Well, expelled, that means that they're not very good alchemists, right?
I it just means that they got removed from a school, yeah, or like
Uh-huh.
removed
That is
from,
what the word expelled
yeah.
means. Or, maybe they, expelled something, as part of their alchemy. Maybe that's
Oh yeah, maybe they just I'm trying to make a pun, but I can't. Anyway, yeah. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
you're gonna have to send me those. I don't have them.
Yeah, I do have to do that, don't I? Okay. I think they're small enough they'll fit in one email, maybe? That'd be pretty cool. Oh, nope, not quite. Alright. Whatever. I don't. This is what I've been told was Game 1 and Game 2. I can only verify Game 1 when we get in there. Okay, and then I need to change this. Oh, that's a logo. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have we gotten more information about what they're expelling with their logo?
No, not at all.
Oh, unlucky.
You have the drafts still, right?
I should.
I don't need to send those to you. Okay. Oh, I really like. Just decided to check through my Discord notifications. Guy joined Get Wrecked. His name's Rolly Stromboli. That's a good name. Appreciate that.
Rolly Stromboli.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's see if this one's right. I hope you got both games. I sent you two.
I did. I did.
This is in fact game 1, so that's good. You like forget certain things, and then like seeing the lines for the timeline reminded me.
Are you trying to spoil stuff?
No.
Okay. I see.
Alright, you ready?
I have it open. I should be ready.
Okay, well, I will fix the scoreboard.
By the way, I think you might have sent me the same game twice, maybe? Maybe I'm stupid. Oh, I'm just stupid. Never mind. Okay.
I don't think you're.
I can confirm. Very heckin' estupido. That's Spanish for not all that bright. Okay.
Yeah, this game one's 719, and then.
Yeah.
By the way, shout out to the 719. It's my area code.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nice.
And then 094, which is not an area code, is the second game.
And it might be an area code somewhere.
Nah, you can't start an area code with a 0, so.
Why not? I think if you believe in yourself.
Sure, why not? Maybe it's a country code? I don't know.
Was it 094?
Yeah.
Sri Lanka.
Ooh.
That's exciting. Alright.
Alright.
Are we looking at draft?
Yeah, let's look at draft. So welcome back. Game number 1 of LRS, which is Legends Rival Series, potentially. Might be right. Could be wrong. Who knows? This is Return of the Middle Sticks LRS, which in like human terms is Platinum, versus Expelled Alchemists. Already, just looking at this draft, they didn't ban Karasuda's Callista, so that's interesting. And then they didn't ban Wings Vel'Koz, so that's also interesting.
Very.
And
I think the big one, Kirisu's Callista, you know, man kind of has 2 million? How many points? He has too many points.
Yeah.
On that champion.
Yeah, and then Gnar also for Cardinals is 100% win rate champion in LPL, which is, you know, just the perfect analog for Platinum gameplay. So should be 100% win rate for Cardinals.
To be fair, Hooney just picked Gnar yesterday and didn't win.
Yeah,
so...
but is he as good as Cardinals or LPL?
Probably not, now that I think about it. You know, when you put it like that, it's hard to disagree.
I also think Gnar lost last night to break that, but went a good week. I think it was 9-10 games that he was undefeated in, so.
Ooh. He's OP.
The missing link, if you liked your champion subtitles. Anyway, on the other side for EXP, you got some shove. You got Caitlyn Morgana, which feels like it should counter Callista Leona, but does it counter Karasuda's Callista Leona?
And Karasuda's known for wanting to play Callista into literally everything. You know, if you think Ashe counters it, no, it doesn't counter his Callista. If you think Caitlyn counters it, no, it doesn't counter his Callista. So
I mean, honestly, this whole team comp should counter Callista, right? Poppy?
Yeah, Poppy just kind of jumps on you.
You got the point and clicks from Malzahar and Rammus. Might see some bad manner QSSs coming through.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be very much fun for a lonely Callista against the enemy team comp.
Yeah, well, let's see how it goes. If you're ready, we'll load up the game.
I am ready.
All right. Oh, I need this. And then we'll go... Oh god, I hit something. Okay. Why is that even a button? I don't want that button. I don't want this button either. Okay. New computer problems, sorry. I had the task view button still there, which I don't know why I would need that. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. So, spawning on, I'll let you do this team. You got
On
these
the
guys.
blue side, we have RotM Platinum. Cardinals 29 in the top lane on the Gnar. 2004 Lexus GX 470 on the Olaf jungle. Wing Nation playing the Vel'Koz Karasuda and Dyslexic on the signature Callista. And then Leona in that bot lane.
And on the other side of the rift are the Expelled Alchemists. In the top lane, Gaggy Bow on the Poppy. I'm Explicit Gaming on the Rammus in the jungle. Ghost Raider 200 on Malzahar. And is he? Oh no. Well.
There's a lot of people
Yeah.
there, and we're gonna end up scaring them away.
All right. Anton TH3S3XY on the Caitlyn, along with Moonbee on the Morgana in the bottom lane.
I think it's Anton these XY.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think the threes are just E's, you know, these. Yeah. He's winged already getting the poke out, getting that mana flow stack, you know, asserting dominance in the lane there. Um so Olaf should run this entire game over, right? I'm pretty sure that champion counters every other champion on the enemy team.
Yeah, once he hits
Um
level 6. I think before that might be a little hard, but
Maybe before 6, I think top side of the map is pretty free. You know, the only thing you'd be scared about is like Morgana. But post 6, you know, he should just be able to run across everyone. And Olaf pretty strong right now with the Gore Drinker. You know, someone who abuses it pretty well is already he's trying to be a little cheeky here in the bottom lane, get a little bit of poke out onto Dyslexic.
yeah,
Um, they gave up the level 2 push for it though, so I don't think it's worth. I think that they're gonna like lose pressure in this lane now.
that and you started
Giving Leona.
Cull on the Caitlyn, so like,
Um,
really banking on farming, I guess.
yeah, they get the level 2 here. Will Dyslexic go in?
Oh yeah, hits the
Hell
Zenith
yeah.
Blade, and Moonbee is dead for first blood. Karasuda on the Callista.
Imagine giving over the level 2 push. Oof. Unlucky. And you know what was supposed to be a counter pick is going to be very difficult, I'd say, for the Caitlyn Morgana now. They still, you know, if they hit the binding, they can still combo their abilities and, you know, do pretty well there. But once you have, you know, an XP disadvantage, especially against Leona, it can get pretty scary.
Yeah, that and Caitlyn is just worse than useless underneath her own tower, especially at the start of the game. Very difficult to farm with. So I think we'll continue to see this farm advantage stretch out for Karasuda as long as they can continue some pressure down here. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, I really like what Wing's done. He'll walk forward pretty aggressively, just auto-attack the spell shield, and then layer in the abilities afterwards. Looks like he's really comfortable in the Malzahar matchup, which isn't always the easiest.
Yeah, in this top lane, I imagine it should be Gnar favored early. It's just all about playing that range. You know, if you ever miss Boomerang, then it's pretty doomed, but otherwise, he's pretty even up there so far. That said, both junglers might be about to meet on this crab. They have pressure, and
Lexus
Dyslexic
hits
is
the
already
undertow,
here.
flashes forward. Explicit Gaming forced to flash away, but he'll get taken down. Cardinals hops in, and Dyslexic roams up. Another undertow, the double kill for Lexus.
Was that Core JJ on the Leona showing up for the top lane level 3 crab fight? And his 80 carry was in base the whole time anyway, so he doesn't actually miss out on anything. Pretty good there. I like the roam, but either way, they're taking advantage of that strong early game from Olaf to get those 2 kills, as well as secure that crab.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, he missed his own cannon, but was able to bully Malzahar off of his, so, you know, net 0.
Yeah, perfectly balanced. Dyslexic is going over trying to bully Rammus off of that second crab. He got distracted by a ward instead. So Rammus will be able to get the crab and then retreat back to his jungle. He actually DC'd? He didn't kill the crab.
Oh,
He wasn't killing the crab that whole time. Why didn't they pause for him?
they did later. It looks like. They must not
Yeah,
have known.
but now he doesn't get the crab. The crab is still alive. Oh no.
Yeah, and Dyslexic's gonna walk up. Oh, didn't actually see the crab on his little path, but Lexus will now.
And they're gonna be able to pick that up, and that's not good for Rammus. He is very, very, very far behind now. And Olaf might look to just early kill this dragon. That's the Olaf way. You know, 5.5 minutes, it's time to solo dragon. Yeah, and with that bottom push, they're gonna be able to secure that for themselves.
What else would you say is the Olaf way?
Just
Five and a
full
half
clearing
minutes. You
from
have the
bot
alarm.
to top, you know, just over and over. Yeah, and then 5.5 minutes. Olaf, Vi, Shyvana. Those are the champions that just solo drag at that point.
So like he's got his Apple Watch on, just timer set. Like, oh, 5.5 minutes, time to go kill the dragon.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Ooh. Level 6 to level. Why does he have 2 levels?
Cause Poppy died.
Yeah, but 2?
And then
Where's
that's
his jungler at? They should dive her off.
So,
that.
like-
Don't let her pick that up.
lost about a wave, or lost about a level on the death, and then lost another one on that minion wave that existed. Hit level 5 off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, that's it's gonna be a very rough matchup now for Poppy into the Gnar. Once Gnar has that kind of a lead, very difficult to trade back into him. I like though that Cardinals was willing to just drop that ultimate. It did get buffed, the cooldown on it, quite a bit, so it is pretty much every time that you have it up, every time that you go Mega, as long as you have a little bit of CDR, you should have your ultimate ability up. Oh no, Rammus is going to get bullied off of his blue buff. Oh, poor Armadillo. He's just a level 4.
Man's
Bot lane's
explicit
coming up,
gaming
but-
over here, and
What's explicit is
Oh.
what they're doing to him.
yeah,
Oh no.
that was pretty explicit as well. Just staring into, I guess it's not into his soul. That's the opposite. That's just disintegration. Unlucky.
And Rammus, we see it. Level 4 at 7.5 minutes is going to be able to take down his... Oh, the bot lane's coming. Oh,
Oh, Karsuda just steals it with the pierce. Oh
he doesn't
no.
even move. Oh no. Guys, this is bullying. Come on. Just let the man get his blue buff.
Yeah, the
He
Ramus.
DC'd and couldn't get his crab.
He's getting cyber bullied pretty hard.
Yeah, no, he's not allowed to play the League of Legends game. So now he's gonna try and walk into his top side, but at least Lexus on the Olaf had cleared out pretty much everything up there, so it should be leveled up for him.
Yeah.
He does want to clear it, but instead he's going back to where he knows it's warded, and he's just gonna try and do Gromp instead. What a sad life this Armadillo leads. Oh no, are they walking back in? Stop it, guys. Come on. Enough is enough.
This is just the tragedy of the Armadillo this game. We'll,
It's actually taking him forever to kill the fucking Grom. Wait, did he get off of it? He got off of it! Them walking up scared him. He's still level 4.
yeah, meanwhile his red buff, his entire red side jungle's getting taken
Oh no.
now. I think they even handed the red buff over to Cards, if I'm not mistaken, so he's got that to push into Poppy
Yeah,
with.
no, he has it.
Um,
Oh no. He hit level 5 off of Gromp. He's gonna be able to do his wolves here.
Oh, Cardinals with the Gnar show into the wall. Lexus here trying to find that one. Poppy gets pretty tanky, good flash away. Ragnarok popped, but not a whole lot there for ROTM. I mean, I guess the Summoner Spell trade is positive, and the Lexus has the Rift Herald to do whatever he wants with. Not going to drop it top, still going to hold on to it for the time being.
Watch the sadness of this Armadillo as he walks through his jungle and tries to find anything up.
He found a ward. It's
It's like, okay, maybe my Krugs. Oh, he just stands there. Oh my god. Oh no, he's gonna try and make a play top. Okay,
Oh no, there's a pink.
The man's level 5 at 10 minutes, and he has nothing to farm. He has to wait for his Gromp to respawn.
Solar
before
Flare
he
burned in the
kills
bottom
it.
lane, not able to find that thanks to the Black Shield from Moonbee. But Karsuda and Dyslexic kind of having their, well, everybody's really having their way for RTM right now. It's pretty significant leads. I mean, it's 5,000 gold at 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's a fair amount of
Yeah.
gold.
I think the pro analytics would the pro analytics dropped a syllable would classify this as a major lead.
At this
So
point
that's
in the
nice.
game, I would say that would be accurate, an accurate description of the lead
Oh,
here.
yeah, Ramus got the crab.
He somehow got the crab, which got him. He's still not level 6. And Olaf's just picking up the dragon. Dude, if he goes in and takes his Gromp, I mean, that's AFK level. Don't let him.
He hit 6 off of the Raptors. Now he's getting his Krugs. Um,
I think they're going to look to use Herald here to either break mid or break bot.
Mid would make some sense. I think they saw Malzahar recall, so this should be like super free. Even more free than it already was. More free than TSM yesterday.
Oh no.
I just want those memes to last as long as possible. I'm not like TSM hater here. I just know we have a lot of TSM fans.
I don't hate TSM, I just hate watching other people be sad that TSM didn't do well. Okay.
Yeah, I also just want them to put Hanser in rather than Huni, but you know.
They paid enough money, I think that they have to keep Huni for
Yeah,
a while at least. Give him a shot.
I just feel like Huni's an albatross at this point in his career. But,
Ooh,
yeah.
look at you. The literary
Oh yeah, we had a Jeopardy
reference.
question about that. Yeah. Blade of the Ruined Kings finished for Karsuda. You have the Leandry's Torment for Winged Nation. The Gore Drinker plus a Phage for Lexus, who is, as they say, very strong.
Very.
Mucho Strongo, which is Spanish for he does a lot of damage.
True. I think it might actually be fuerte.
Well,
Muy fuerte. But maybe not. I think mucho strongo sounds pretty good too.
yeah.
Oh no, Olaf coming from behind turret?
Oh.
Oh, that turret's
Yeah,
dead. Never
this
mind.
is illegal. Well.
It feels like this one is pretty hard for the Alchemists to come back in.
Yeah, they really need to just change all of the minions on the Rift into gold, and even then I don't know that it's enough.
True. Okay. So high points, right? This bottom lane after falling behind.
Yeah, high points, this bottom lane.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, after falling behind early, being behind a ton of CS, they did a good job of not dying and keeping up. You know, relatively up in CS. You know, until the entire team showed up, and yeah, now our team's just gonna sort of walk around the map, slowly collecting everything. That's a cool Kalista skin. Is that the Marauder?
Yeah, I really like it. I bought it, and then I haven't actually played Callista since I bought it, so that's a thing.
It's a cool skin nonetheless. I'm not sure I've
Yeah.
seen that one in game before.
Yeah, I'm kind of upset Anton didn't go for the lore bot lane now. Would have gone for the Warden Quinn in the bottom lane, but
Yeah, would that have been the the play?
yeah, the skin lore.
Mm-hmm. Is there another? I guess Sivir.
Sivir
been the
is the
other
old
option.
one, yeah. Yeah, gonna use the Fate's
That's
Call.
good roll.
Oh, didn't quite get the knock-up, but the rest of the Leona CC is definitely there, and the Pierce from Karasuda. That's very clean. I was talking more
Yeah.
about the skin effects than the kill, but like both. So
Either way, it was very good for our team's bot lane. So they get to pressure some damage down there, but now 4-0, sitting on quite a bit of gold. So next time that they recall, looks like a little over 2,000 in the bank for Karasuda. Is going to be pretty happy to go spend that. I imagine going for, oh
oh
no.
no. Well, ooh, the rock actually for the kill from Cardinals. Hits him with the whole house.
Yeah. Taking a full advantage of the architecture to pick up that kill onto Poppy. It's hard to say. So what? I don't know how they come back into this game either.
Yeah, no,
Outside of
this...
like just getting 4 items on Malzahar, it feels impossible. Um, there's no bright spots. I like the conformity though. All three of their farming champions, 117, 118, 119. So they're staying very close to each other. And then the 020 across the board is the Ghost Whisperer.
So like,
He's just an armadillo.
I think at some point you have to try to use the taunt or the Malzahar ultimate.
Has he taunted anyone this game?
I don't think he's actually fought anybody. Like, he tried to run away in top lane, and then it's just been downhill from there.
And Malzahar probably hasn't pressed R at all.
No, Malzahar definitely has not pressed R.
Well, maybe that should be the bet. Does Malzahar press R this game?
Oh, I forgot to
imagine
do
he
a bit.
will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poppy doesn't have boots if you're looking to continue the flame.
Will Poppy get booed? I feel like... Well, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe that's the secret OP. I don't think Wing's suggestion of Rammus damage dealt this game works, because I think it was posted in the Discord.
Yeah, I also have no way to verify it unless somebody posts the after game, because it doesn't actually pop up the stats for us on the replay. So Sag, and it seems like all of the plat players know, however much it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's the interactive gameplay experience that Olaf is going to offer.
He's missing every axe, and it doesn't.
You don't need to hit the axes. You have the true damage. Like, I don't know. It seemed fine to me. I always hate, like, I want to hype up the plays. Need to hype up my boys, but this is objectively just not, like, there's no hype to be had. You know?
Well, I think that the hype was in them establishing the lead, and now they're just running around and taking advantage of that, picking up the kills, trying to play a clean game, pick up the objectives here.
Would you do Illudens on Malzahar?
It sounds terrible.
Like, I don't know why you'd want the front burst. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could do Everfrost, maybe? I don't know how that meme item works, but I know people have been building
that
it now.
doesn't sound good on Malzahar. I feel like you just go Leandres, because Leandres, while it's burning, lowers their resistances, right? So with Malzahar E, you can keep like a consistent burn on people. It feels like that would be really good.
Yeah. I don't know if this is the normal Callista build either. I thought that you would go like Immortal Shield Bow. This is just the old Callista build on the. I don't need a mythic item.
This is probably fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's good. Like, I have no
it.
doubt from anything that Jesse builds on Callista, but I just think it's funny to get 2 items without getting a mythic, or even looking at a mythic.
Yeah, mythics are overrated, honestly. Who needs them? Gale Force Callista actually sounds like some fun. You could like triple dash, right? Like auto dash, Q dash, and then Gale Force.
Yeah, but your crits do, because of the way Callista works, like your crits inherently do nothing, essentially. Because you're.
Well, and I imagine you're building Rageblade anyway, right?
Yeah. But your AD scaling is already 0.9 for. Yeah. Anyway. Um,
Yeah, but the AD scaling on the Gale Force active isn't lowered.
oh,
So
true. Yeah. I just really miss when Callisto was first released. You had the option. You could do like the Blade of the Ruined King Runaan's build for on hit max E, or if you're in a really bad matchup, you could max Q it, go crit, and just like burst people with it, and that was pretty fun. But then they removed her AD scaling on her auto attacks.
do you remember when Callisto was released and there was a big argument, a schism between AD carry players, one headed by Doublelift and the other headed by I'm a Cutie Pie on whether you should max Q or E?
Yeah. No,
Well, nowadays
the whole
there's no
time
other
I thought
option.
that E was like objectively the better build, but it was fun to have the option, you know.
Q used to slap because you would like Q through the wave.
Oh, they've
Oh,
caught cards.
okay.
Oh, the whole team is here. The boys,
They're
they're
using
coming in.
their
They're using their
CC
CC.
abilities.
He's dead. Oh no, the perfect game is over.
So they just need to do that um a few more times and it's winnable.
Yeah. Baron's secured on the other half of the map, by the way.
True. Yeah, it seems like they're none too perturbed by the loss of their top laner. Still pressuring in the 4v5. Um, Plus, Gnar will come in with teleport as soon as he spawns, so not too worried
Solar
about
flare
it.
over, but they. Why was Caitlyn in the front? All right, well. Lux is just gonna chase him down. Hits the undertow. The lifeform disintegration ray. Chunking through. They actually aren't getting any kills out of this, which is a little unfortunate, but they force them back into the fountain so that they can take the inhibitor at 21 minutes.
I like that Lexus is really illustrating the power of Olaf mains here. Doesn't have to hit an axe, doesn't have to actually land auto attacks, still kills people. It's the Olaf way. That and taking dragons off spawn. Which, by the way, this dragon's been up, for like a minute, and they haven't taken it yet. Very disappointed. They're off like taking other objectives instead, trying to pressure the Nexus. Imagine.
Yeah, Cardinals has Narsho available. They could just turn this up. The defensive Narsho. They're going to engage onto Explicit Gaming. He gets the taunt, trying to get away. Where's the damage coming from? The last auto from Cardinals with the grass proc is enough, though.
So, Karasuda bought a pickaxe. What do you think that is going into?
Um,
Maybe it's a Kraken Slayer. Maybe Kraken Slayer's to play.
I actually just don't know what any of the ADC builds are. I just kind of like look at them in the shop. I couldn't tell you which items actually build into what.
So the big thing is that it means he's not building Shield Bow. As Anton
Anton
these
dies.
XY is going to drop there.
Oh man. Well, he's actually hitting his abilities now, and he finds the double
So
kill.
Olaf gameplay. But I promise you, if he didn't even press Q, he still would have gotten at least one kill there. That chip is very strong. Now 8-0, a really good showing from Lexus, considering he's, not a jungler by trade. Either way, ROTM got the lead early and did not slow down at any point, just sort of close this one out.
Yeah,
I'm Explicit Gaming sitting there, as he did many times throughout the game, just sad.
yeah. Ghost Chem Tank Ramus feels bad. Um, so things I really liked were that it didn't take them very long to close out from that lead, like 23 minutes, maybe even a little longer than you'd expect given what they did. But overall, a very clean game. Cardinals the only blemish on the record from preventing the perfect game. Um, Probably just remove him from the team, but other than that, it seemed really good.
Yeah, definitely. Blame Cardinals. Let the whole team down.
We'll see if he can redeem himself in game number 2. Um, I don't even. Do you want to try to talk about what Expelled Alchemists have to do in draft?
So I would say, having a jungler that can clear the jungle, or is able to contest things early would probably be good. Maybe a little bit more early game focused. That way you don't just get rolled and you're able to, like develop a lead somewhere and then, try and pressure it. I think that would be a good approach.
All right. Well, you've heard the man all about the jungle, because of course it is.
Well, I mean, you saw
No,
Rammus.
yeah, no,
That man does not want to lock in a tank again. He does not. I promise you.
hey, I mean, Sejuani is a character in this game. It's apparently coming back into meta, so Yankos is quivering somewhere. Oh, well, that's not a tank jungler, so that's something.
Yeah, that's a champion that can pretend to do stuff early. So I like it. I like the adaptation. Um, although the rest of the comp is very solo queue. Which I don't know. Maybe they're looking to just coin flip a little bit more, get a lead, and just snowball.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I was trying to look up. Yeah, Rammus did 900 damage, it looks like, that game. That's pretty unlucky.
Is it 900?
Mhm.
I thought what they said was like 861 or something.
Well,
yeah.
all I have is the graph, and it's under
Oh.
1,000, and it's just barely under 1,000, so.
Yeah. Lexus says 861 was the damage.
861. That's
So
pretty
should have done
unlucky.
the over under on 860 damage.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
Yeah, I don't know what to do about this game. Like, they'll obviously get more kills than last game, right?
They need to check him PC and game. Is this? I haven't seen this copy pasta before.
What is this? Oh. Karasuda skilled player, but that... Oh. That is not normally. This is very, very insane. They need to check him PC in game. Maybe he not cheating, but maybe he using the game deficit. Okay, yeah.
Just can't see him on game screen. He needs to check up. Lexus cheater was streaming. I think Lexus still cheating. Karasuda using game deficit on pro scene? On big events?
Oof.
Maybe everyone don't knows him trick. He incredible. I want to ask his where's the coming of your skills? Same.
Yeah, same.
Where is the coming of your skills? That's what the world wants to know.
Alright, well. Oh, I didn't, like, load stuff. I've been slacking. I need the other draft. And then I need to fix this. Alright. Let's look at this draft.
So Akali.
Akali.
Top
Yeah.
is
Into
a
Wukong.
selection. Doesn't seem like a great matchup for Akali.
Oh, I forgot I'm on cam. Hello, everyone. Yeah.
Pantheon priorities actually really surprises me that it dropped that far down. Especially based on pro play, based on a lot of the games that we've been playing like FPL. It seems like Pantheon is like either first rotation ban or first pick blue side. So it's interesting to see that it dropped all the way down to blue 4. But
Yeah, I think it's also weird that it winds up mid of all places, but
yeah, especially
into Nico.
so did they think it was into Syndra? Because that doesn't seem like a good matchup either.
Yeah. Or they thought they had a Kali into Syndra,
Pantheon top.
and then they picked Pantheon top, but like,
Also, I don't think Zaya is a champion.
no. But
Like Jhin is open, Misfortune's open, Ashe is open.
like, neither was Caitlyn the last game, so.
Oh, Jhin is not open. Jhin got banned. Sorry, I'm smooth brain.
Yeah,
Can't read.
Samira and Jhin both got banned. and Kaisa and Callista.
True.
They didn't ban Callista in the first rotation again, by the way. That's a second rotation Callista ban.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to analyze this anymore. I'm tired. Let's
All right.
let's get
Let's
into game.
load in. All right.
All right. Get this back. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. On. Do you want blue? What do you want?
Sure. On the blue
Okay.
side, we have the Expelled Alchemists trying to claw their way back after not a great game one. They're just trying to change things up. In top lane, Gagabro on the Akali. I'm Explicit Gaming on the Lilia. Ghost Raider 200 on the Pantheon. Anton these XY with Desire, and then Moonbeat on the Leona.
And on the top side of the rift, walking in here, maybe?
Oh?
Oh, big stun already. The empowered W from Ghost Raider and the Ignite blown. So Lexus will be forced back to base and without a flash. Unfortunately for him. That was kind of awkward.
I can't believe that Dyslexic on Alistar literally just walked straight in, blind, warded that bush with Leona sitting in it, and just walked back out. What the?
Yeah, Leona chose not to react to it.
What a monster.
On the top side of the rift, wearing the red health bars for game number 2, looking to close out the series, our return to the middle sticks. Cardinals 29 on Wukong in the top lane. 2004 Lexus GX 470 in the jungle on Kayn. Wukong in the mid lane for Wing Nation. And Syndra and Alistar in the bottom lane for Karsuit and Dyslexic.
Yeah, is that Wukong in the mid lane for
Yeah, he
Wing
started
Nation?
Doran's Ring on Wukong. It's kind of weird.
Weird.
Oh, the sweeper. All right.
Oh, the extra XP. I don't think it changes the breakpoint for bottom lane. I know in soul lanes you can hit level 2 off of the first wave with a word, but I don't think it does anything bot.
It's kind of interesting. The solo start for Kayn, and he started red buff. Like, I know
I
Lexus
think
isn't
he
a
got
jungle.
leashed.
Did he get leashed? Oh.
I think he got leashed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then never mind. Ignore exactly what I said.
That's okay. Yeah, no, he's doing the normal clear for Kayn. You know, sometimes you could start raids, but if you can get a leash, red Krug's raids is much faster. Was already this bot lane. RotM got the level 2 push again, which against Leona it feels like they probably shouldn't be able to.
Well, against Leona as Syndra, you shouldn't. Like, there's nothing there that should necessitate them getting a shove, but they did, so good for them.
Yeah, and now, like, that wave is slow pushing back into them.
Oh, Gagibo, not quite gonna hit the Tangle Barbs.
Right, jungle is so easy. Apparently you can actually just walk straight into lanes. Holy fuck. Alexis, you know, transition gank there. Ended up stealing a minion, getting a couple of orbs, so didn't lose too much time there.
Yeah, we take those.
That said, I'm Explicit Gaming. If he gets this crab, we'll be level 4, like 3 minutes before he was last game. So that's gotta feel good. And it looks like he is gonna be able to get that crab.
Is Phase Rush the normal keystone on Lilia?
So you go either Phase Rush or Dark Harvest. And it's level 3 to level 2 here.
Oh, big snare though from Anton. They might be looking to turn this around. Good Zenith Blade in. Karsuta in trouble, and he'll die for the second time this series. First blood for Expelled Alchemists in the bottom lane, and it's a double kill for Anton.
Yeah, a bit of an overextension there from RotM. With the Syndra, you don't have that much power early, so all-in onto the Aftershock Leona just seems a little strange. Didn't quite work out for them.
So it is the swap, by the way.
Yeah.
We haven't highlighted that like at all, but it's the Pantheon in the top lane against Cardinals, which feels like a okay matchup. I think that Nico just beats Akali, but yeah.
Oh, I don't think there's a good matchup for Akali anywhere on the map right now. So, taking what you can.
Yeah, I think Syndra is the best matchup for Akali, and unfortunately that comes with an Alistar. Oh, the flash Tangle Barb not quite going to connect, but the pop, not the Pop Blossom, the Blooming Burst? There's too many bees in her kit. I only remember that. And the Ignite not quite enough to take down Gagibo.
And Pantheon, strong champion, already applying a lot of pressure there after the lane swap. I think he can dive Cardinals here if he QWs. Maybe not. That's a lot of healing, actually.
Yeah, still just chunking through with a couple of Comet Spears. Yeah, a lot of healing coming through off of that Corrupting Potion, though. That seems like a good start.
I like the look from Cards. He ended up Wing early because he was expecting Pantheon to try and all-in him. So it was a good look there. Expelled Gaming is still level 4. I don't think you can do that dragon, buddy. What are you looking for? What exactly are you looking for?
I think it's the dragon, because they saw Kane top.
But Akali's on reset. And, like, this is going to deal a lot of damage.
Yeah, but, like, they saw
Looks
Kane
like
top.
they don't know. Yeah.
Wait, isn't that the red scuttle? Can't they, like, actively see them?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. It feels like they probably shouldn't be able to get that drag,
Cardinals
but
hits
they
level
got
6,
it.
hits the Cyclone.
Ignite is an OP ability? Oh, no. Standing on top of the clone, that feels bad. Alright, so taking stock of the situation, 6 minutes, 1k gold lead in favor of the Alchemists here. I think it's important that they already got a bit of a lead here in the bottom lane, especially, you know, against the Syndra. You know, once Syndra gets ahead, it's very hard as the ADC to exist. So always good there as
that was a
Gagibo
yeah.
went in.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a respectable chunk first from Wing Nation, but then good turn, good little chunk of damage from Gagibo in return. So
I think it's important for Gagibo to trade back, especially since Nico's cooldowns
oh,
are
the
pretty
Pantheon
long.
ult's just getting called in. Yeah, I don't know that he can actually track down Winged. Yeah, has the movement speed from the W, and he's out of there.
Yeah, unlucky. Oh, does he hit 6? He's not 6 yet.
Oh, the Tangle Barb over the wall into the Pop Blossom. Oh. Good dodge on the Shuriken flip, though. And that's it. Oh, no it isn't. Next, Lexus is here. The Flash Q still doesn't hit it, but the blades reach.
Oh, ult! Oh, he's not in range!
Just doesn't have it. Unlucky.
I could feel the pressure he was putting on his R key there, but unfortunately not enough range on it. Just not quite. Well played there by Gagibo actually to get out there. You know, from dodging the Pot Blossom to you know, avoiding the Kane gank as well. You know, pretty good on him to make it out of there alive.
Yeah, and then using the teleport back to mid lane, gonna try to keep some pressure on. Actually has a pretty decent CS lead, 14 right now on Winged.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I didn't readjust the scoreboard, so I was having trouble.
But I haven't either, but now I have. Cardinal's still looking for this. Hits the Cyclone, but now in the mid lane, Shuriken flip onto Gagibo, and the second part of the perfect execution. That's really nice. And then Cardinals just gets a solo kill in top lane. Lexus looking for orbs and not going to find any up there. So RotM on the board with the solo kill from Cardinals.
Yeah, and well played by him. You know, Wukong does get a lot of armor. And oh no!
Bowling ball into the sleep. Dyslexic in trouble gets woken up
up
rudely by Anton, but it doesn't matter. It's the killing spree for Anton on the Xayah.
Oh my god. Lily's like, if you wake him up with an auto attack, I'm gonna take your fucking cannon. I respect it from Lilia. Either way, I'm Explicit Gaming already a significantly better game this time around. It's hard to have, you know, one worse than that Rammus game. But this time is keeping relatively even in CS, relatively even in XP, and even got some kill participation there. So, you know, it seems like the bottom side of the map is looking much better for the Alchemists this game. Good adjustment by them. See if they will be able to play around that and translate this this lead into something more.
Yeah, that and there's a ward on that blue buff that saw Kane. That might be the deepest ward that they've had the entire series.
True. Actually true.
A new high water mark. Lilia may be fighting the Rift Herald right now. I can't quite tell, but it
I
looks like
think
going to be spotted by Winged and Lexus. Yeah, going to chase her off. She was definitely fighting it. Can confirm now.
Just seeing, checking to see if they
the
had much
Pantheon
vision.
ult being
Pantheon
popped in.
ult.
Yeah, the
Oh?
3v3 coming out. Ghost Raider just finds everybody in the bush, and Lexus trying to take him down, but gets taken himself. Now Gagibo in, takes down Cardinals as well. The teleport in from Karasuda as they're looking for it. Gagibo low, gets killed off by the unleashed power, but now Ghost Raider forward. The Comet Spear charged up, not quite enough to finish off Dyslexic. Moonbee slides up, maybe looking for something, still has the Solar Flare available. Anton just chilling in bottom lane. He's got a plate for himself, looking maybe for a little bit more. Stun gonna land onto Explicit Gaming. Moonbee taking another chunk as well. Ooh, does he have the sleep? He's got the sleep. They could just go for that.
Available. Doesn't look like he wants to try it, but this whole time Anton has just been free farming, gets a plate there. Dragon spawned. It looks like RotM is on their way. They haven't reset some of their people. Oh, I suppose it's just Karasuda actually. Karasuda and Dyslexic.
Yeah, Dragon started up on the neutral ward here. Don't have a Pantheon ult, don't have a teleport, so everybody's got to walk in for Expelled Alchemists, and Leona just hit the back button.
And also no Akali ult, so, you know, your strongest person just isn't
Comet Spear?
available for it.
Alright.
It's very close, actually.
The sleep is actually just used. It only hit Dyslexic, who was not in a position to be jumped upon, so... Little unlucky use of the lilting lullaby, and everybody will walk away. Dragons evened up at 1. Kills still pretty much very in favor of Expelled Alchemists, as well as that gold count, about 2,500.
Yeah, both the Xayah and the Akali are very strong right now. That last fight, a lot of the burst that they had came out of the Akali already on the Night Harvester. Didn't have it for the last fight, but now has it. Is going to be doing just a ton of damage. Anyone that she finds alone, she should be able to single out once she has her ult back up. I like that Dyslexic is sitting in just the farthest possible place in the bush.
Almost an Alcove gamer, just not quite in there.
Yeah. Ooh.
This is a pretty quiet game, though. Well, honestly, a pretty quiet series. Like, last game was 18 kills in like 24 minutes. That's relatively low for one of these scraps. But Cardinals gonna go ahead and use the Cyclone. Lexus still looking for that transformation. Now coming in for some orbs, and they'll finish off Ghost Raider. Cardinals will take that kill. Probably didn't really need Lexus's help, but got it anyway. And he's 2-1 now on the Wukong, working his way toward that Gold Ring. Oh, Gagibo looking for Lexus. Has him singled out. Flash forced from him. The power that Akali, you know, coming in just a little bit while Explicit Gaming slides into mid lane, grabs a minion wave. He'll feel pretty good about that too.
Yeah, no, but this Akali just shows up and instantly have to burn the flash out of the Kayn. Definitely very scary. That said, the ult is on cooldown now, so Akali, less scary. So... might be able to be pressured back a little bit by Wing. Fishing with the E, but not quite able to land it.
Dyslexic and Moonbee both walk into mid lane, immediately start throwing some spells at each other. A lot of CC coming down onto Moonbee. Pop Blossom not going to connect though. Gagibo hits the Shuriken flip. Looking in, big sleep coming through. They're going to take down Wing to start off the fight. Lexus goes into Zumbral Trespass, but gets taken down himself. And Dyslexic burning to the bowling ball, but it's not quite enough.
And be able to just barely limp away. Not quite enough burn yet from the Lilia, but that's another fight in favor of the Alchemists here. A really good sleep. I believe it was on 3
Oh,
people. Is
Ghost Raider's
the
still
Pantheon.
looking for it with Anton in his back pocket. Anton flashed over the wall to get involved. um, you know, you like that confidence from your AD carry sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Anton already has the shield bow, tier 2 boots, and the ultimate available, so, you know, he's feeling pretty good about himself so far. Very strong. Did Akali just reset? Oh, she picked up tier 2 boots. I was wondering why her inventory looks so similar. As this matchup that, you know, we were worried about a little bit earlier seems a lot less scary now that, you know, Akali's fed.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
The lane that
melee's
we
into Wukong. Oh, go ahead.
I don't know what I was about to say. I was going to just start saying words and hope that I picked it up by the end, if I'm being honest. This is what Game 5 of casting does to you guys, by the way.
True.
You can feel really sharp for your first couple of casts, but then eventually it just turns into, I'm just going to start saying something and hope I figure out where it goes along the way.
Feel bad for the LCK casters when they had like the was it like a 6-hour delay and they had to be on stream the entire time
Yeah,
last year?
yeah, that sounds pretty miserable. The delays really suck as a caster because you have to keep talking about the same things. Or, I mean, at least we have the advantage. We could just do the LCS podcast while we're waiting. But like,
I think that it was LS and I don't remember who the second person was. I'm pretty sure they just started talking about random shit.
yeah, Atlas. They talked about
Um,
Magic for a while.
yeah, Magic, Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the quality. You know, I think that it's the delays are hurt especially for regions like the LCK that don't have like an analyst desk. Whereas, you know, in the LCS you could just kick it to Dash and the homies and, you know, they'll take care of it for you. But
Yeah, for a little bit, and then they'll kick it back to the casters, and then they kick it back to the end. Anyway, Lexus is Rost, so that's good. He's got some power now, especially with that Gore Drinker starting to stack up that tier as well. A lot of, damage coming soon for the Kane. Dyslexic looking for Gaggy Bow as the dragon gets taken down by ROTM. Explicit Gaming flashed over the wall, but not quite able to find it, and Kane just takes her down for the trouble. Big Cyclone into the Pop Blossom. Everybody flashes away, though. No damage actually coming through. Gagibo still low. He gets CC'd. He gets taken down by Karasuda on the front side of the fight. Moonbee trying to limp out, but it's a double kill as Anton is trying to flee. The couple of feathers just not enough as you'll get knocked up by the Blade's Reach and shut down by Cardinals.
in so much of that fight, I'm Explicit Gaming flashed over at the beginning and, you know, died instantly for it. Wasn't able to get the steal, but after that, it's a 5v4. And the side of RotM did a really good job of making sure that Anton was not able to DPS on the Xayah, even though, you know, extremely strong, had the finished shield bow, you know, was in a very strong position, was just never able to actually DPS, was always getting zoned either by Rost or by Dyslexic, and it's just very difficult to exist as an ADC for Xayah there.
Yeah, you
And
have
a
that,
good
and
fight
then
for RTM.
I was going to say Gagibo trying to do the heavy lifting in that fight. Did a lot of damage, but just like without the power budget of the Pantheon ult coming in, no Lilia damage, it's very hard just to 100 to 0 anybody on the ROTM side. Maybe Syndra you can grab right now, but there's a lot of protection for Syndra.
Certainly. Especially since Gagibo had been found, you know, at the very beginning of the fight. As Moonbee, I don't know what you're doing here, buddy. There's a lot of people on the enemy team around you. It's gonna
Gonna go
spend
down.
all the time with them.
Yeah, Lexus finds him. I really liked the start of that fight from Lexus. He was like, oh, I should probably take this blast cone just to make sure that he can't. Oh, now I'm on the other side of the pit and he's not coming over. I guess I'll queue back over. No, I gotta...
Yeah, a little bit of back and forth there as he's trying to cover all potential ways out. Anton. Oh,
got the
no.
ult. Oh, he doesn't have the
He
ult.
was
Never mind.
strong. He was strong, but it doesn't matter. Syndra has hit the power spike. Level 11 now, has a completed item, some pen, and was able to just 100 to 0 Anton.
Yeah, that was through the shield bow too, which is not a good sign if you're the Xayah.
I think the big thing with Xayah ult is, you know, long cooldown, so it didn't quite have it up for that fight, but That's not what you want to see is Gagibo.
Gagibo forced to use the ult now in the Shroud. Tries to come through, but Dyslexic tanking the turret with his ultimate up will allow Cardinals to pick up the kill. In comes Pantheon with the man drop, but Lexus is here to intercept him. And now they'll look for the re-dive onto Pantheon. The Golden Aegis will buy a lot of time. The Ignite not going to finish off Cardinals as he's got enough healing on the Gore Drinker to stay alive. So a successful dive for RTM in the top lane. They find 2 kills, and Rift Herald will secure that tower. Winged?
Do you remember when the kill score was 8-2? It has now been very much swung the other way, as RTM has done a really good job of sticking in. Even when they were behind, they've just been finding the picks and finding the...
Yeah, now finding
oh, no,
Anton with that Blade's Reach. He's got the Featherstorm available, but where's the damage from RTM? There it finally comes through. Dyslexic will fall in return as Gagibo teleports in the bottom lane. Karasuda is split pushing on Syndra, as you do.
Picking up those sideways, that's what you gotta do. I don't know why it's, the Leona that you're 1v1 against, but, supports need XP too, I suppose?
Yeah.
Poor Moonbee. Dies top, trying to get vision down.
The
and then
Syndra
goes
walking
to pick up
forward to interrupt the recalls like 3 times. That's... yeah.
Sag.
Sag indeed.
Sorry, Akali showed up. Oh, Akali doesn't want the ward. I was able to pick up 2 minions and then go back for the ward.
Yeah, that's the play, right? Oh, but then lost a cannon, or lost a melee to go get it. So
who's to say for sure?
Lost all of those melees.
No.
Oh no.
It's okay. Melees aren't worth any money anyway, right?
Yeah, true.
They don't have any vision to protect him, so he can't even walk up and hit the turret. It's a good thing he's not, because, he would get a cane coming down instantly.
Alexis passing off the blue buff to Karasuda. I wonder how Winged feels about that.
Oh?
Probably not super great, because he's getting a spear to the face, but Ghost Raider in a little bit of trouble as Alistar walks up and walks him off.
That's to feel pretty bad as Ghost Raider. The moment that you W in, there's just, an Alistar there waiting for you, so you have to use your flash to get out, Feels bad trying to trade once. Skagibo, now top lane. Just back and forth, back and forth.
He's everywhere. What a monster. Explicit Gaming gets chased off of his Krugs, but uses the sleep onto Lexus. We haven't really seen that have a huge impact. That's a good Golden Aegis from Pantheon. Now fight breaking out as Cardinals gets collapsed upon by 3 members of the Expelled Alchemists. Oh, he's able to actually buffer away. The dash on the Nimbus strike from Cardinals gets him out. He interrupted the Shuriken flip with a second charge of his ultimate, and then used the Nimbus strike to get to the minions. That was a really good play by Cardinals. Now they're going to recollapse, and Lexus rips through. The ultimate from Pantheon is still, doing work with that Golden Aegis, but there just isn't the damage to finish anybody off. Now Lexus finally falls to the turret. They're looking for the redive as Explicit Gaming gets jumped on. Cardinals is back in. He's so fast. What the hell? Double kill for Karasuda, and Anton forced to use the Featherstorm back away. Nobody willing to step on the feathers as the tower falls. Really good fight for ROTM.
Yeah, really good. Again, for a game that started so in favor of the Alchemists here, everything's just going against them as RTM's doing a good job of getting the picks off the back of Cardinals, who had gotten caught out but was able to limp away at 1 HP and then re-TP back into the fight. And RTM's just taking everything now, a commanding lead, 5.5k. They're going to be able to reset here, and Soul should be spawning relatively soon, yeah? How long is it?
3 minutes and 15 seconds.
Do you think that they play for that, or do you think they play for Dragon? Or not Dragon, Baron?
I think with the lead that you have, you can do whatever you want. But honestly, the Baron, for right now, you can just pull them to the Baron, make them waste a bunch of vision on that side of the map, and then just go take the Dragon for free. I think would be the optimal macro play. but I don't know why I'm giving you the optimum macro play.
No, I think it makes sense.
You're supposed to analyze for me, not the other way around.
You're right. I'm sorry.
I guess I made you do
I
play-by-play
don't
earlier.
think they
It's
should
fair.
be getting
Anyway,
caught
they
here.
got the knock up onto Gankebo. Blitzing Lullaby available. Going to use that as Wing. Pops the Pop Blossom, only hitting Leona. A lot of abilities used, but not a whole lot of damage coming
they're
through.
all
Now
stacked.
finally, they're finishing it off. Dyslexic falls first, but both supports hit the Death Chamber. Pantheon falls as well as Explicit Gaming zooms back in. He's Mach 3, but not quite able to get out. Double kill for Wing Nation, and Gagibo gets tracked down by Cardinals at the end of that one with the Nimbus Strike. Anton is on the bottom half of the map and did not participate in this fight.
Yeah, and the rest of his team was there. They had gotten the initial catch out. You know, they had the numbers. It was 4-3, but unfortunately, they just didn't have the damage to actually burst anyone out. Which means that our team's able to show up and turn it back the other way, only losing their support in the process. And that means that they pick up that inhibitor. Dragon spying in minute 40. Baron is up. They have a lot of vision that they could clear out if they wanted to, but it looks like they're just going to reset instead.
Yeah, let's take a
And
quick glance
I
over the
feel
inventory. You got the double burn finished up for Lilia. Might actually be pretty tough to deal with over the course of a longer fight if they can draw one out. It just seems like, not to, I don't want to put a target on anybody, but the Lilia damage just hasn't been super high. Like, keeps popping the Drowsy on like 1, maybe 2 targets, and it's been Alistar for the most part.
I think that there was one really good, as Moonbee gets caught out
Moonbee.
here. I think there's one really good Lilia ults in the mid lane. You know, maybe at like minute 12 or something, that they were able to pick up a couple kills on.
Yeah.
Since then, it feels like the team just hasn't been on the same page in terms of, you know, playing around it or, you know, looking for the sleeps. But yeah, I mean, Lilia hasn't had a ton of impact this game. The other thing is I feel like a lot of the lane assignments just haven't been great for the Alchemists. As, you know, Anton is rarely with the team. You know, people are getting caught out quite a bit, and, you know, trying to pick up these sideways, they're
Yeah, now it's
losing
3v3
fights for it.
scrap down here in the red side jungle. Ghost Raider jumps onto Lexus. Can they actually finish this one off? Karasuda's godlike. The stopwatch from Gagibo keeps him safe, but a nice stun from Karasuda secures that kill for Dyslexic. On the top side, Cardinals is just fighting Anton in the jungle right now. Dyslexic falls to the double burn. Oof.
Not like this.
Lex is still looking for it. Cardinals wrapping around. They're looking for this turret as well. Maybe a little bit of a split focus here. They don't have the huge turret damage coming through the, you know, triple auto from the Nico, about the most amount of damage that they have to pop turrets. But Infernal Soul in their sights as Lexus and the boys started up.
Yeah, they should be able to pick that one up. It doesn't look like the Alchemists are in any position to contest that. So it's Soul going over to RotM. Infernal Soul, so not Cloud. We've seen Cloud a couple times today.
Yeah.
Infernal a bit more spicy.
Yeah, gotta get those spicy dragons. Stack them up for a spicy soul.
Absolutely.
Maybe like sriracha flavored. Sounds alright. You're not a big condiment guy. You're not into the hot sauces.
Not normally, no.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever had sriracha. Is sriracha particularly spicy?
It's like a milder spicy, like not like mild salsa. It's very different. I don't know how to describe it. I'm not like a hot sauce connoisseur. Any sriracha fans in the chat there?
Any sriracha
Any
stands?
Sriracha I know a lot of people are very much about their sriracha. I'm not one of those. It's fine. That's my opinion on it.
I
Anton,
think that's reasonable.
yeah.
I don't.
They're trying to collapse onto Cardinals, and
This was who they picked on last game, right?
Yeah.
Where they were able to pick up the 4-man kill onto Cardinals. So deciding to do that again. Shut down this time around. 800 gold. Unfortunately, though, they're giving up Baron on the other side of the map for it.
Yeah, it's hard because I don't know that they can contest it even in the best situation. Like, that might have just been the best play that they had, honestly.
Maybe if it stalls out the Baron and means that RotM isn't able to get much, because they are the numbers advantage or disadvantage rather, then like that could be a good play. Just sort of depends on how much RotM's able to do with this.
Yeah. Kind of weird that Karsid is the only one that backed out of that bush.
They were playing a game of chicken to see who would cancel it first, or who wouldn't cancel it. Dyslexic is all alone, but I guess he's just not afraid. It doesn't look like the Alchemists want anything to do with him. They don't know who's behind him.
Yeah, not willing to turn cow into beef.
Blue team's inhibitor is respawning soon.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, we're seeing kind of a slow setup for this Baron from ROTM. Much like we saw the gold team kind of struggle with in their game.
Oh?
Explicit Gaming hits the Drowsy, but the teleport from Cardinals is going to ward him away. But Laxus flashes over the wall, hits the double blade reach. He's in onto the Lilia, maybe a little too deep into the back line, but he's not going to pay for it. Instead, finds a couple of kills for his trouble. Knockup from the Cyclone will spell the end of both Cardinals and Ghost Raider. Not the ace, because Moonbee is still alive and was not involved in that fight.
He wins these.
Solar Flare, not
Aw.
quite there, unfortunately, on the knockup. But Nexus turret number 1 and 2 both fall, as will the Nexus for game number 2. Moonbee is fine, and Wing is probably not.
Oh!
Oh, didn't get the
He
laser
made it
retarget.
out.
Yeah.
And that was a good series from our team. That one, in the beginning, looked a little bit scary, but I feel like they really turned it on in the mid game and did a good job of finding the picks, finding their fights, to get them back into it and make sure that the Fed Saya wasn't able to do much.
Yeah, overall, they definitely showcased that they were the better team fighting team as well. Like we saw in game 1, they just kind of ran over with the prowess in their laning phase. A little bit rougher laning phase, but showed that they were also the better team fighting team. So, you know, good flex there from RTM for that game. So that's gonna do it for our casts here on this channel today, but not it for RTM today by any means. Uh, Aikedo and the boys playing in the FPL Championship game tonight at 7. We'll post the link in the Discord so you guys don't miss that. I'll be following along in the chat, and yeah, really looking forward to that tonight. Good luck to you guys.
Yeah, thank you. We will see what we can do. It's first seeds from both groups against each other, so the Titans coming in to resolve it and see who is the better team. Um, yeah, hopefully people come out and support it. Watch for the tendy stuff.
Yeah, I just hope that you guys have fun. Uh, Hopefully you bring home the dub, but if not, we're still very proud of you guys. So, um,
I'll be very disappointed with us if we don't. So
uh,
yeah, that's the dual parenting, right?
oh, yeah.
I
So thanks guys for watching. Tune in to help the boys out. If for some reason their stream falls through, we'll put it on our stream, but uh, my casting will probably be shot for the rest of the day because my voice already kind of hurts. So that'll be interesting. But um, thanks guys again. We'll see you soon in the stream chat in the real world or whatever. Bye bye.